Hello, everybody, and welcome to Project 1 Million in 1 Year, the pre-training secrets of the riches. And actually, for the first time, we are not just live right here on, oh wow, what did I just do? Live on our Zoom event. We are also live on YouTube. We are also live on Facebook. And wherever you guys are watching this, I am so super excited because this event is going to transform your life. So before everything starts, I just want to make sure that you guys can actually hear me. So please do comment below a number 1 if you're able to hear me correctly. I just want to make sure that everything is running correctly. And ooh la la, I hear all sorts of sounds. What's going on? I'm just Mian, can you please take me out of that chat? That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So I see one's coming in. Hello. All right, cool. So let me start off directly with a very important and serious question. Who here that is part of Project 1 Million in 1 Year actually wants to make 1 million in 1 year? If you do, then comment below and say the word million, because that is my job right now here, whether you are tuning in on the Zoom, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you are, my job is to make sure that you are going to be trained, mentored, advised, accountable, and everything else under the sun, so that you are actually able to make 1 million in 1 year. So if you guys are excited for that, then please do let me know and give me a big hoo ha hoo. And I'm just gonna ask Mian again if you can take me out of that chat, because someone is very eagerly and excitingly calling us because he probably wants to join the event. So with all that being said, let's just figure out also where's everybody tuning in from. So do comment below. Let me know where you are tuning in from, because it's always so good to see new faces. I don't want to say old faces, but familiar faces, and to really make sure that this event is unlike anything else that you have ever experienced. So we have Trinidad in the house. We got London in the house. Very nice. I am tuning in from Dubai, so we have Dubai in the house. We got New York in the house. Very nice. And also just checking the other platforms. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Nigeria is over here. Another London coming in. Super nice. Now, I just want to make sure that we cut to the chase, because I have a lot to share with you. And also, I am on a mission to make every single event that we run the absolute best event ever. And so you guys are in for a treat, because we are going to do something super powerful, exciting, and unheard of this very event. And that's why I am so excited. But I also want everybody to know that Project 1 Million in 1 year is not just one session. It is 5 sessions for happening next week. And today is the pre-training. And I actually have been in contact with almost all of the participants. And so many of you have said, okay, I'm not able to make it on the pre-training, but I am going to be there for the main event next week. Totally fine. That's why we're recording this. This is going to be the only recording. So if you are watching this one on the replay, just know that, because next week, all have to be there live. If you want to be able to actually get the full mentorship of Project 1 Million in 1 year, then you need to make sure to be there live. So I just want to make sure that everybody has got all of the details in place, so that we do not have any mishaps when it comes to everybody enjoying this mentorship. So for the Project 1 Million in 1 year, in short, P1M, the dates for the main event is going to be November the 5th until November the 9th. So that is basically Wednesday next week until Sunday next week as well. But I want everybody to be aware of the time that this event is going to be taking place, because in Europe and in the US, there's a clock change happening. Dubai doesn't do. Oh, I hear some sounds. Hello. In Dubai, none of this stuff is happening, but we stay at the time. So for us in Dubai, it is just 6 p.m. Dubai time. So that one is always correct. But for people that are tuning in from different places in the world, you do have to check for yourself what time it is. And I will write down for the UK people, it is 2 p.m. UK time. And then for the US people, right now this pre-training is happening at 10 a.m. Eastern. But next week, your clock changes. So for the US people, next week is going to be 9 a.m. Eastern time. So whatever part of the world you are at, just check for yourself how to convert 6 p.m. Dubai time to your local time, so that we can really make sure that everyone is going to be there. And let me tell you guys one thing very clearly. Every single day of the event is designed for you guys, not just to learn a lot and make a lot of notes, but it's actually an implementation event. I want everybody to get this very clear. This is mentorship. And I know there's been a lot of people that are absolutely wondering why the heck we're giving this mentorship away for free. But it is important because, again, I want to ask everybody a quick question. How many of you are really serious about transforming your life and actually making a lot more money? Raise your hand nice and high if that is you. Yes, we have Julia in the house. Hey, I see David, I see Carla, I see Simran, I see Elizabeth. Very, very nice, very good. I see Jatin as well. Super nice. So that is important. And could it be so that maybe you have tried a couple of things before? And I'm also asking the people on YouTube, I'm asking the people on Facebook, and the people on Zoom. How many of you have been trying to go and make money before? Or you've been trying to go and find financial stability? Or you've been trying to monetize your passion? Or you've been trying to find a way that you're not only stuck into the business, but you're actually having some more freedom? And so if that is you, I want you to understand that this event and this mentorship is actually going to give you clarity on how to not just try, but how to succeed. So I'm going to make a very big claim as to what this event is going to do for you. I want everybody to write this down. At the end of this event, which is going to be November the 9th on Sunday, by the end of this event, you will know exactly, practically, how to make 1 million in 1 year or more or faster. The only thing that is the main question here is whether you're going to do it. Does that make sense? Because too often are there people, they really want to make more money. Because again, how many of you want to make 1 million? Raise your hand nice and high and say yes. Let's go, Steve, in the house. Very good. All right, awesome. So all of us want to have an extra million. Of course we do. But how many of you is actually willing to do whatever good it takes to get there? Raise your hand nice and high as well. And that's actually one of the secrets of the riches. Thank you guys so much that you are going to learn and what we're going to unpack today, which is the pre-trading, the preparation so that everyone is ready how to go and implement all of the goodness next week, is that you are willing. Because there's a big interesting quote by Grant Cardone, and he says, it is not that most people are dumb, lazy, unwilling, or anything else of the sort, and that's the reason why they're not making money. The reason, the main and most important reason, I want everybody to write this down, is because people are operating on the wrong data. Most of us are operating on the wrong data. And I'm gonna, I guess, say this a little bit more direct than I have before said it, but we're living in a world where things are set up not in our favor. I don't know if anybody have ever heard of these sayings like we're living in a matrix. Anybody ever heard of that? Everybody ever seen the Matrix, the film? All right, cool. There's very much a matrix going on. Like, let me ask you a question. How many of you have gone to school, any sort of formal education? Did you learn how to make passive income? Did you learn how to make yourself financially sound? Did you guys learn how to create passive income? Did you learn how to monetize your passion? So what useful things did we learn? We learned how to figure out algebra, and that we obviously still use every single day in our life. We use a ton of stuff that actually actively we're not even implementing and we don't actually need. And so the big question is why in this world are we being molded in a way that we are kind of forced to operate on the wrong data? Now, there's two things that you can do with that. Number one, you can think, oh, I'm totally crazy and what the heck and whatever. Like, you don't have to agree with me. But the thing is that the most important thing is how can you become aware of the effects that the system has on you, and how can you do something to break free from it? So I want to ask you guys a serious question. Who here is serious to actually break free and to this time around do it right? All right, so I see a lot of hand raises. I'm going to hold you accountable. Team, have a look at these beautiful folks raising their hands. But I also want to say another thing, because I still see a couple of people that are shy, not turning on their cameras. And you guys know the drill. Turn on your camera. It's a very important rule. You are allowed to not have your camera on only when you go to the toilet. That indeed we do not want to see and share. But other than that, make sure that you are showing up, because if you're serious about results, how you show up determines what's going to show up for you. Because if I'm running the events without my camera, I don't think it's going to be as interesting for you guys. And I don't think it's going to be as interesting for me to even be here with you guys. But if I have myself here, you guys get to see me, you guys get to interact with me in that way. Therefore, so much more is going to happen. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? And again, how many of you beautiful, eager people that are here, either on YouTube, Facebook, or on Zoom, are so dedicated to making this dream a reality, creating a beautiful life for yourself? But sometimes you're just like, it seems like this knowledge is only for those people that have a lot of money. Is there anybody who ever thought that? That you're like, I want to get the mentorship, but I don't have the money to pay for it, or haven't found the right mentor, or whatever is the case. So here is the deal. This mentorship, this particular event is free of charge. This particular event, which is the Project 1 Million Mentorship, is here so that anyone, no matter what your background is, no matter how good you're already doing or how much you want to grow, is going to benefit from this. So I want to ask this question. Who is going to grab this mentorship with both hands and utilize it to transform your life so that by November the 9th, you can be a changed man or a changed woman and your life is going to be better? If that is you, comment below me, just like Marcus. Who for Mark? And I am just extremely excited for this. So let me lay a couple of ground rules so that everybody can prepare yourself for what this event is going to bring. And I want to first and foremost let you guys know that these sessions roughly take 2 to 3 hours each day. Yeah. Now I'm actually going to aim for making it shorter, but let's see how it goes. Sometimes I feel excited, I want to over-deliver, and sometimes certain questions come in and I give a bit more. Who's going to commit to this? Let me know in the chat box. And who is going to be there for all of the 6 days? Now, if you are watching this on replay, this was one of the days, so then there's 5 days left. But you guys that are here live, hoo for you guys, super good. Who's going to be there for all of the days? Comment below and say all days. Because here's the thing. You can't tell me that you really want to create results for yourself, but then not actually show up for yourself. And that's why I want you guys to know the first rule, the first lesson of Project 1 Million, which is that success, there we go, is a decision. All right, write this down for yourself. Success is a decision. Because right now, you guys have a unique opportunity to actually learn how it's done. Today's Secrets of the Riches, so I'm going to share with you guys the way and the data that the most successful, most rich, most abundant people operate on. So that after today, you can no longer say, hey, I am not operating on the right data. I don't know how. No, you will know how. Then for the rest of the duration of this event, we're going to allow you guys to step-by-step implement with us. Which means that by the end of this event, again, by the 9th of November, you guys will not just walk away with a lot of knowledge and a lot of notes in your book that you'll put on the shelf and then create shelf development. No, you guys are going to walk away with a full-on roadmap, knowing exactly step-by-step what to do to get your business out there, whether you have a business already or whether you don't. If you don't have a business yet, we're going to actually create the business from scratch. We're going to have the entire plan. So who's excited for that? The ones that are starting, which are nice and high. But if you already have a business, you're going to learn how do I adapt the business so that now, finally, I can actually see predictable growth. So that is why it's important that every single day you're there, you're writing down the different steps, and then you're implementing the steps with us. That's what mentorship is. I'm not going to be here as an event speaker and just speak at you so that you guys can think I am cool and get motivated by the end of it. No, we're going to do stuff. So can I have everybody's hands, please? Everybody show me your hands. All right. Please put up your sleeves because we're going to do some stuff. We're going to do business. Who's ready to do some business? Let's shake hands and let's actually do some business. It also therefore means that besides obviously the training, the live training sessions, I'm also going to actually, and this is a new thing, I'm going to find a way to actively be involved in each and every one of your journeys. So here's the question. Who wants results? Comment below and say the word results. Now I'm excited. Who are those ambitious individuals? Comment below and say results. That should be everybody, right? Or are you just here for the vibes? Also nice. And the vibes are definitely part of the menu, but I hope you want actual more, right? And I see Marissa over there. Hey, we have Geneva, hello. And we have Kitty as well. Very nice, super good. Oh, by the way, can I ask a favor? Can everybody change your Zoom name to your actual name? Because I see admin, blah, 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 and I don't know who you are. I want to make sure that I can address you properly. And sometimes people are iPhone or people are Android or whatever. Please add your real name so I can actually give you a shout out and really know who is here with us. All right, cool. Video doesn't work. I see. Well, try to find a way to make it work. And if it doesn't, then at least you've tried. Okay, good. So you guys are wanting results. Very good. So there's a number of different assets that you're getting as a part of this event. And I want you guys to make use of all of them. Do we have a deal? And that way, and only that way, and that's why this session is a week before next week, so that in this coming week, we can do all the preparation so that everybody next week is able to build. Is that okay with everybody? Raise your hand nice and high. And by the way, I don't know if you've ever been part of a mentorship training, but we are hardcore. And we're going to go and do some really, really good stuff. So let me go and share with you all the assets so that everybody knows exactly how we're going to get the job done. So I'm going to send this in the chat. So I'm just going to pause the chat right now. Now, for those of you that are watching on YouTube or those of you watching on Facebook, if you also want to get access to the assets, you have to register for the event. So click on the link, Project 1 Million in 1 year, join us, and then actually you're going to get the link for being on the Zoom, and then we can wave as well. So if you're watching this elsewhere, click on the link, project1millionin1year.com, join for free, and then you get access to all of the assets that these beautiful people are getting as well. So let me know, no, don't let me know, just click on all of these links, and I'm going to quickly walk you through what all of they are, what they are basically for, and then we're going to start doing the doings. And it's a very exciting program that we have put together, and some of you have been here before. By the way, if you've been here before, comment below and say, been here. Oh no, you can't comment. Then wave at me if you've been here before. Yes, we get Julia, nice, and Kitty, obviously, Marissa, Steve, Marilyn, yeah, obviously, Arlene, Mark, nice. So those of you that are new, if you're a newbie, do this. A newbie? Oh, I think the newbies have not got their cameras on just yet. They're a little bit shy. Okay, it's okay. It always happens in the beginning, but then after a couple of moments, you will also get out of your shell, because then you will realize that that's the only way for you to also actually get results. So let me share with you step by step what are the assets that you have gotten. And also, I'm sending the assets into our mentorship channel as well, just for the heck of it. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen real quick, and then after this, we're gonna dive in straight away, because I have too much to share with you guys, and I don't want to hold up anything. So here we go. Here we have the mentorship channel, basically. And again, those of you who are on YouTube and Facebook, you just have to go and wait, because you guys can't see this. But here we go. We have the mentorship channel. It's the first link. And so if you are not part of this yet, join it, because this is what it is. It's the mentorship channel. In here, we're sending extra stuff, extra tips, extra videos, extra mentorship, extra things that can really help you. Plus, we also remind you of everything that is going on, and we celebrate your success as well. We have something that we call the Action Taker Hall of Fame. So if you want to be honored in that Hall of Fame as well, this is the perfect place for you to be in. This is on the Telegram app. It's a free app. Definitely advise you guys to make use of it and join there. Now, the next thing is the group. This is the mentorship group. So you can see that on this side. It's a group on Facebook. And I know not everybody's on Facebook, but I have spoken to a few of you, and you say, okay, for the sake of the event, I'm going to make a Facebook so that I can get the full benefits of the event. So this is the place, and it's called the Freedom Lifestyle Entrepreneurs group. In this group, you are going to be able to do some of your homework, and we're going to be, watching it, giving you feedback, and help you out even further. Plus, we will have the families on Facebook as well. So it's very important. Click on this second link, join the group, and then you'll know the rest in just a moment. Next, we have the book. So I just want to quickly show you guys our beautiful book. Well, not my book, actually, my book over here. This one is falling apart because I've been teaching with this book for, I don't know, 2 years already almost. So this one is not as beautiful as your one because you guys have the new edition, which has extra blueprints and whatever. So you can also get the book. That is the third link. And this book, no, this book is not free. It sells for a whole pound. Yeah. So this is how we make our money. No, just joking. But yeah, the book is for a whole pound or $1 something or €1 something. So it's definitely been priced in a way so that everyone, no matter where you are from the world, can benefit from it. And I do recommend you guys having the book because it just makes things a lot easier. There's exercises that stimulate the mind. There's blueprints in there and a whole lot more. However, if for whatever reason you're not having the book and you're not capable of having the book or whatever is the situation, you're still going to be able to benefit from this event maximally as well, yeah? Because I share a lot of these things also. Yes, Luani, you did it! Hoo-ha-hoo! Awesome! All right, cool. So that was the third link. Then the fourth link, very important. Join a family. Now, this one is going to be absolutely important for everyone to do. And I don't care who you are, I want you to do it. Because has anybody here ever heard of the saying, your network equals your net worth? Who's ever heard of that? Raise your hand nice and high. Now, what does that mean? It means the following. It means that if you tell me the 5 closest friends, your 5 closest friends, I can tell you your future. And I'm going to say it in a little bit of a harsh way. So if you are hanging around with 5 broke people, you are the 5th broke person. Doesn't sound too nice, is it? If you hang around with 5 millionaires, guess what? You're going to be the 6th millionaire. And it is something that I don't know if you guys are aware of, but your environment has an influence on us. What we do, what we think is normal. So that is why we wanted to make sure, because I know we have people from all around the world. Maybe you don't have a millionaire next door that you can learn from and role play with and what else. So that's why we wanted to make sure that you guys can actually surround yourself with the successful people in our community. How many of you actually would like that? That we can train you, that we can benefit you, that we can hold you accountable. And again, this time around, actually mentor you. And that's why the fourth link is an absolute important thing. We have Dana in the house. Dana, join the family. I'm just going to send the link again in case for some of you that have just tuned in and missed the fun. So that's the fourth link that I was just talking about. Make sure to click on it, make sure to join. And that gives me a moment to actually give a shout out to our incredible Josie. By the way, Josie recently hit the 1 million mark in sales. Well done, Josie. Our incredible Miyen. Miyen is awesome and is building an entire beautiful community in Asia right now, which is so super powerful. But not just Asia, she's there all around the world. And the incredible Christina. And Christina is transparent because Christina has special powers. So please give it up for these beautiful ladies, because these incredible members of the FLC core team, and by the way, if you are new, write this down. FLC stands for Freedom Lifestyle Creators, which I just quickly want to show you what that is. This is one of our 2 Comma Club awards. You only get this award if you've made 7 figures. And this is what we got for our Freedom Lifestyle Creators, there we go, company. So this is one of our companies. We also got another award for an older company, which we also brought to over 7 figures. And that's also the reason why I know what I'm talking about, and why I also know that every single time you make $1 million, it actually gets easier, it gets better. And so we have simplified the way that we've done it with our companies so that you guys can learn from our mistakes and actually have a more efficient blueprint to get there way faster than we have done it in either one of our companies. Does that make sense? Who's excited for that? And so that being said, Josie, Miyen, and Christina are here alongside myself to help you guys, to mentor you guys, and to make sure that it's not like, let me just say it this way. We have so many clients, right? We have a lot of clients from all around the world. Some of them are already making millions and they're looking to scale their companies. Some people are starting from scratch and they've never been in business yet, and they learn with us how to actually start a profitable business. And the people in between, the people that have a business already, but for some reason it's not doing so well. And if they don't do something about it, something's going to give. So they want to learn how to properly grow their income whilst remaining their own authentic human being. Now, how many of you can resonate with either one of these categories? And so in us doing this and in us helping people in that way, we meet a lot of people. And one of the biggest challenges that we have seen people face, and you might be one of them because we have a lot of people here, is that a lot of people, they have tried before, they have been part of programs before, they have learned stuff before, but it's usually the practical implementation that is difficult. How many of you can resonate with that? And you also feel a little like, why is it not working yet? Yet being the key word. And so we have seen that, and we've seen so many different people all across the world when we're running our events, or when I'm speaking at a TED Talk, or we're featured in Forbes or whatnot, that we want to make sure that whatever it is that we do, whether that is our actual mentorship programs, or whether that is our events, such like Project 1 Million, that we can make it practical, and that we can help you find the right way for you. So I have a question for you guys, and I don't know if you guys expected this from an event that is completely free of charge, but how many of you would really like us, over the course of, let's just say, 2 weeks, 1.5 weeks, to actually mentor you personally? Who would want that? That we're going to personally look into what is it that you're doing, what is it that you want to do, what are perhaps some of the challenges that you faced, what are the goals that you're setting for yourself, what are perhaps some of the blind spots that you're having. Who would like us to personally mentor you as a part of this event, completely free of charge? Raise your hand nice and high if that is you, and do it with a smile, please. Smile, because it is going to cost us time, money, effort, but we're gladly doing it because our mission with FLC is to make this world a better place. We really believe, and let me know if you resonate with this belief, we believe that every human being has the right to be free, physically free, mentally free, spiritually free, and financially free. And if you're not there yet, it's not because you can't, it's not because you're not smart enough, it's not because you're not having enough money, it's not because of whatever you think it is. It's just a decision. And you need 2 things for that. You need to be able to know, okay, I'm operating on the right data right now, and then have the support, the encouragement, the accountability to then actually go and do it. Does that make sense? So who's with us during these 6 days, starting today and then 5 days next week, to actually give it your all? Because I know if I say, hey, let's work for whatever period of time, sometimes people get overwhelmed. But if it's just 5 days, so today and then next week, 5 days, that's actually easy. It's not that much time. So are you guys willing to give it your all so that after you do all these doings until the 9th of November, you're going to be shifted so much that you might stay that way, that you might stay that empowered person so that you can actually start making your 1 million. Who's with me on that one? Raise your hand nice and high once again. Now, if that is you, again, I want to also make sure that everybody clicks on the 5th link. And again, I'm sharing this once more so that everyone that just came in also has it. The 5th link is basically an assessment. It'll take you around 2 minutes to fill it out, but this is what we like to call the no more blind spots assessment. So that we can really say, okay, what is it that you want to achieve, and what has been holding you back, and what potential blind spots do you have? And then also, we might even just give you a mentorship call to help you solve that. Who would want that, by the way? Raise your hand nice and high to actually get that done so you know, okay, cool, this is where I'm going. So I want to make sure that also everybody clicks on that last link, but I don't want you to go and fill it out right now, even though some of you will. I always know some of you will be not listening to me, but you will be doing that. But I just want to make sure that you do that today. Is that okay? That everybody fills out that assessment today so that our team can then look at everything and actually starts incorporating the mentorship so that you guys are all prepared for what we're going to be doing next week. Is that okay with everybody? Are you guys with me? Yes or yes? So let me just enable the chat again. Comment below and say, I am with you, or let's do it, or anything else affirmative, so that we can really make sure that this event is going to change your life as it is designed to do. So comment below, yes, let's go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, cool. So quick other question. How many of you are already in business? Comment below business. And how many of you are starting your business? Because you don't have a business yet, you're starting from scratch pretty much, and you are starting here with us. If that's you, then comment below and say starting. And what I want to do is to make sure, again, that everybody knows exactly what is it that we're going to do. And I'm going to infuse it with the secrets of the riches, which are 7 secrets that are basically sort of laws or rules that all successful people live by. And I always like to see there's a beautiful mix. Love it, love it, love it. Uh, Carla, you can actually say not just started, you can say crushing it, because Carla is one of our diamond students, so she's crushing it. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get started. Let's get down to business. Oh, one fun fact about me, I will be singing a lot during this mentorship. I hope that's okay with you guys, because I have this thing that every single time I say a word, a song pops up. Is there anybody like that, or is it just me? All right, so some of you as well. Nice, we can stick together. All right, so the first secret that I want you to put your minds towards is the following. So I'm going to share it with you guys. Here we go. So the first secret is align with the energy of wealth. Very, very important one. And what does this say? I actually had a beautiful conversation with one of our incredible students. Her name is Marta, and she's on the call right now. Hello, Marta. And it was such a beautiful, interesting, deep conversation. I really want to say how much I appreciated everything that you have shared during that call. But one of the things that we came to talk about is actually exactly this secret, which is our alignment with the energy of wealth. So again, can I see a show of hands of who really wants to make 1 million in 1 year and beyond? Raise your hand nice and high, if that is you. And by the way, I don't want to see hands like this. Remember this saying, write this down. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if I see a tiny little hand like this, like a little hand, I don't know what you guys believe in. Some of you believe in the universe, some of you believe in God, like I do. But if you have a hand like this, then universe or God is going to look at this like, not so sure how much this person wants it. But if you're like this, yeah, oh man, I want to do it, then you get a different kind of energy, and therefore different kinds of things come to you. So let's do it again. Who here really wants to get results? Raise your hand nice and high. Yeah, 2 hands even. Love it. Awesome. Great energy. Good. So keep that in mind for the rest of this event. So what is this thing? I basically shared with her, and we spoke about this together, that if you want to create that financial freedom, it starts with you being abundant first. So we got to be abundant, because some people think, yeah, I will be free. I will be freedom, like living a freedom lifestyle. Will be free when I have the financial freedom. Only then is when it's going to happen. But it's actually not true. You got to be free first in your energy. And then the universe or whatever is around us has no other option but to catch up with that. Does that make sense? So the way how I like to always draw this is that right now, let's say this is the incredible Dana. Yeah? So everybody say, hi, Dana. And Dana has a beautiful smile sitting there. Awesome. Now, there are 2 banks in the way that I like to teach them. Maybe more banks, but this is just for simplicity, just to make sure that everybody understands what we're talking about. So here is a bank. So everybody write this down. This is one bank. And then here's another bank. Now, I have a quick question. How many of you, if you were to log into your bank account, you look at the number and you're like, oh, I wish this was higher. Is there anybody like that? You would like to replenish your physical bank to have a bit more money? Well, this event is going to actually train you how to close more deals, how to make more money. Yeah. So this one is the physical bank. So write this down with a P. And this one is the energetic bank. And so what does align yourself with the energy of wealth mean? It means that on an energetic level, you are already embodying that person, the future you, that has their physical bank overflow with money, but not just money. We're not just talking about getting rich for the sake of money sides. No, I'm talking about living the good life. So abundant and wealthy in all areas of life. So abundant in wealth, abundant in health, abundant in love, in relationships, in spirituality. How many of you agree with that and wants to achieve abundance in all areas of life? Beautiful. So that's what it starts with. But guess what? That is this bank. So what I want everybody to write down is that the bank of energy, that's the one that will overflow first. And then that's what happens, because you are then embodying that energy, then this one has no choice but to also catch up with that as well. It just so happens to be that money flows towards abundant, affluent individuals. Why? Because money is energy. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? So money is energy is another very important thing to realize. So money is not basically like so many people think, like some slimy thing, or money is the root of all evil, or money is this and money is that. No, it's not. Money is just money. But what does money represent? Money represents energy. Because let me ask you, Linda. Hello, Linda. Linda, the money that you have in your bank account or in cash, how did you get that? Probably for efforts that you took. Whether that's the effort of you doing a job, or the effort of you being someone who looks after the household, or someone who is helping in the community, whichever way the money came to you, it came to you because of the energy that you put out. So money represents energy put out. Does that make sense? So now we have to realize is that we need to increase that energy within us before the bank is at that level. Does that make sense? I want to couple to that another notion. How many of you have ever felt inconfident, or you felt not worthy because maybe you weren't the successfulest, or that's not even a word, but the most successful person, and you kind of attached the amount of money that you have, or the amount of fitness that you have, or the amount of friends that you have, or the amount of possessions to your worth? Anybody ever been guilty of that? Now I want to say this thing, whatever's in your bank has nothing to do with your worth. Does that make sense? What is your worth? Your worth is here. Your energy, your smile. Everybody give me a smile. All together, smile. Woo, how beautiful, right? You are worth everything and more. And why do I know that? Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be here. And I don't mean here on this zoo, here on this planet. Because if the utmost high, where you believe in God, or you believe in universe, or whatever you believe in to be the Almighty, I believe in God. But if God knew that this world wouldn't be complete without you, hence he had to create you, who are you to doubt that? Does that make sense? So you are worthy of everything good. You are special. You have a purpose. Because otherwise, why would you be here? Does that make sense? You are here because it wasn't complete without you. So your worth is you and your being. But your being is far more than just your being physically. Does it make sense? I am not this body. I am currently within this body doing this event. But I'm a lot more than that. I'm a spiritual being. Who's with me on that one? Who else here is a spiritual being? And if you're a spiritual being, your energy can connect with other spiritual beings, can connect with other things that have energy, such as money. So we got to upload that energy. We got to embody that version of ourselves. And we're capable of it. So you may wonder, why don't we do it? It's because we stop ourselves. And why, you may ask, why do we stop ourselves? Because we've been brainwashed to stop ourselves. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? And if there's anybody here who still doubts, looking at the title of this event, Project 1 Million in 1 year, whether you can do it, then let me pause you right here. Because yes, you can. Because that's why you are here. If you didn't have the slightest bit of energy and a belief, you wouldn't have ever come to this event. So the fact that you are here on this event means that you have what it takes to go and do it. Now the question is, will you then do it, or will you stop yourself? What are you guys going to do? Let me know in the chat box. Are you going to do it, or are you going to stop yourself? Now, I don't think anybody's going to join Club Stop Myself, right? That would be silly. So is it okay that during this event, I'm going to hold you accountable when you actually stop yourself? Is that okay? All right. So if you say okay, whether you said okay or not, I was going to do it anyways. But those of you not having your cameras on are stopping yourself because you have beautiful energy and you're blocking it by not turning the camera on. How many people in this room might need your specific blend of energy? They might need you to go and help them. You might even find clients in this room, but you're just staying comfortable behind the camera or behind the thingy and not allowing yourself out. That is a choice. And so what I want you guys to understand, and I know this is the first session and everybody's still getting used to it, it's okay. But I want you to start thinking with it. And I want you to start making steps towards the life that you want and be the person that you want to be. So let me ask you, who do you want to be? What are the characteristics of that person, that 2.0 version that is living abundantly? Let me know in the chat box. I think that person is enthusiastic. Yeah, enthusiastic. I think that person is excited. Maybe that's the same thing, excited. I think that person is an action taker. I think that person is going to go all in. All in. I think that person is decisive. I think that person loves helping people. How many of you here love helping people? Raise your hand nice and high. Loves helping people. Loves people, maybe just. Loves people. Now, let me tell you, I have my ups and downs with loving people. Sometimes people drive me nuts. Anybody else like that? Sometimes people are like, oh my goodness, people are not peopling today. Happens to all of us every now and again. That's why we're human, right? But I think this is a beautiful list of characteristics that are in the most wealthy of people. So what I want you to do, this is homework number 1. I want you to create a beautiful list. And I'm not going to test this homework, but I want you guys to just do it. Write down a list of characteristics that you know your future 2.0 version of yourself embodies. And then start embodying that. I know that those people that are really serious, the 2.0 millionaires, they turn on their cameras. They're not hiding behind something. Now again, I know some of you are at work and you've asked permission whether you can not have your camera on. That's totally fine. I know who you guys are. But that's not all of you. Not everybody has message me, I'm at work, I'm still listening in. But some of you are still not turning the camera on. So understand, how we do anything is how we do everything. And write this down too. How we show up determines what's going to show up for you. Does that make sense? If I want to find amazing clients, I have to show up in the way that I want my clients to be. Now, that does not mean that you have to be as crazy as I am. I'm just giving that as a side note. You don't have to be this high energy. Sometimes people think that, right? They say, oh, do I have to be like you? Absolutely not. You don't. But you do have to be there. Does that make sense? So that's the next thing. Very, very important. Now, let's do a little flash forward then so that everybody understands as well what are we actually going to be doing. So my intention for you guys is actually not just to make 1 million in 1 year. I have a much bigger purpose for you guys. Is that okay if I share that with you? My intention and what we basically do in FLC is that we don't just help people build businesses, even though we do that very well. We help people, and I want everybody to write this down, build freedom lifestyle business empires. So I want you guys not just to walk away with the notion of how to actually launch or grow your existing business, how to make more money and then make your way to your first million or your next million. I want you guys to actually have an entire blueprint knowing how to build an empire with multiple streams of income. How many of you like that? That there will be more ways of money coming into your business, into your life, into your operation. Good. So for that, I'm going to give you guys a flash forward. Is that okay? So you guys know what to expect, what we're going to do. So make sure you write with me. Yeah. So what is it that we're doing? We're basically going to help you guys first and foremost that you develop a brand. So write that down for yourself. Write a brand, create a brand. Because the brand is the first thing that people get to see, get to meet, get to build trust with. Now, when it comes to branding, there are 2 possibilities. I'll write them down quickly on the board. You have either got company branding or you've got personal branding. 2 options. Which one do you guys think is better? Let me know in the chat box. Which one is better? Company branding, such as McDonald's, Apple, Freedom Lifestyle Creators, or personal branding, such as Steve Jobs, Kim Kardashian, Tjibaria. What do you guys think is better? Let me know in the chat box. Same? Personal? Okay, so a lot of you are saying personal. So here's the thing. They both work, but the world that we live in requires us to be able to build trust with people, because anyone here probably knows at least one person, and in some cases that person is yourself, that has been fallen victim to a scam, right? And what is this one thing that scam companies or scammers, I don't even dare to call them companies, have in common is that you don't see who they are, You don't have anything to validate whether they are actually real, if they are someone that is out there. And so they operate in the dark, and then in a one-to-one situations, they get to scam people. So a lot of people, not just yourself, but a lot of people know people or have themselves been scammed. And so what is required in order for us to truly do a good business is that we build trust with people. And so trust, write that down, is the number one thing that is important for us to build so that we can do business. Because if we build trust, from there flows business. I'm going to give you guys a roadmap for that on maybe today or on the first day, one of the two, depending on how fast we go. But in order to do that, it helps that people get to see who is this brand, like who's this face of the brand, who's this person behind the brand. And a lot of the time, especially when people get started, you might not know yet exactly what your business is going to be. Like, how many of you don't exactly know yet what kind of business you're going to do? You're open to different options, right? Raise your hand nice and high if that's you. And so whether that's you or whether you already have a business, but maybe you don't know if that's yet your purposeful business, most of the time, my advice is to go with personal branding. And if you look at the topmost businesses like Apple, you want to know why Apple as a company brand massively kicked Microsoft's butt is because of the personal brand that Steve Jobs had. Does that make sense? Because it allows people to see, hey, this is a real person, and build that connection with them. Yeah? Now, should there be anybody here that says, well, I don't want to be out in the open? I do get it. There's options for not being out there in the open. It just slows you down. So I have a question. Who here loves efficiency? And you actually want to go and make some money, not in, let's say, 5 million years, but agreeably a bit sooner than that. Let me know in the comment below and say efficiency. Oh, no one? Ah, okay, Tom. Thank you, Tom. Tom is the only one who wants to be efficient? Ah, okay, you guys are, there's a delay in the comments. Okay, cool, more of you, awesome. Now, then let me show you how that's done. Now, if you still say, hey, I want to have either a personal brand or a company brand, it really doesn't matter. But what is important is that you do allow people to build trust with you. My advice is a personal brand, because then from the perspective of building an empire, you can easily have more businesses underneath you. For instance, for me, I am Tjibaria. In case you didn't know, hello, I'm Tjibaria. And I have a personal brand called Tjibaria. And then under that, I have multiple businesses. I've got Freedom Lifestyle Creators, which is our business that trains people how to make money. We have our e-commerce brand, which is Dog It Official, which is there to help people with wearing beautiful clothes that is actually spiritually powerful and positive in the vibes. And then we have our real estate that we're opening. There's another company. So there's a lot of different things that we have underneath one personal brand. So that is what I would recommend. But should you want to do it different, by all means you can. But for now, start thinking with that. Start thinking like, what is it that you want to do? Now, that being said, next is then that you want to create a movement. Now, what is that? A movement, right? Write that down for yourself. A movement is basically like a tribe, or like it's a legacy that you're building. Let me ask you this, Julia, what is it that you want to leave to the world? What is it that you want to pass on? How do you want the world to remember you? What is this beautiful thing that you have created that has made a difference, made a dent in your community or in the world? What is that thing? That thing that brings people together, that allows people to walk together and say, yes, I'm part of the Julia tribe, for instance. So for us, that is the Freedom Lifestyle Movement. So for all of you guys here, welcome to the Freedom Lifestyle Movement, where we believe that everybody has the right to be free, physically free, mentally free, spiritually free, financially free. And we help people in that specific area, right? So I want you guys to start writing that down for yourself too. Start thinking with this in the next coming week. What kind of movement do you want to create? What do you want people to experience? It's kind of like as if you are saying to people, this is your family. And for those of you that know Apple and the strategy that they ran after Steve Jobs came back to the company, I don't know if you guys know the story, but when Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company, basically Apple went down the drain, and then Steve went on to creating Next and doing other projects, and eventually he came back and actually revived the Apple company. And the way how he did it is by introducing the beautiful campaign called Think Different campaign. Does anybody remember that? This is for the misfits. This is for those that are crazy enough to think that they can change the world or whatever, right? So what they did is they realized that it's not about our products. It's not about our services, not about our programs. It's about what we have shaped as a community, as a movement that people want to be a part of. And so what I want you guys to write down is that if you create a movement that supersedes whatever is the product or service that you're selling. Does that make sense? Some of you may know this theory called the 1,000 true fans theory. 1,000 true fans theory is basically saying that if you have 1,000 true fans, no matter what it is that you launch as a product, as a service, as a program, they'll buy anything from you. And if you create that 1,000 true fans, then you'll be set for life. You will be financially free. So that's another thing to take into your account. And you want to ask yourself, what is this family that I am creating? Does that make sense? So again, this is a flash forward. We're going to dive in deeper as we go through the event. But then, what do we do next? Now, I want you guys to basically set up the foundation for having multiple streams of income. And the way that we do that is by means of the branding pillars. All right? So I'm going to give you guys an exercise that I want all of you to do. Is that okay? Who's going to do the homework, by the way? Raise your hand nice and high and say, yes, I will do the homework. And again, if you're part of the families, we're actually going to check it with you. You're going to share this homework with us so that we can ensure that what you are doing is actually going to benefit you. Because sometimes people come up with ideas that are not necessarily going to scale, right? They may have 3 clients and that's it. Now, again, who are those people that want to make millions? Raise your hand nice and high. And actually, can I ask a quick question before we go further? There might still be a few people, because I know this is the first session, that think, okay, I want to make a million, I want to believe it, but I'm not so sure if I can. Is that you? Who is that? Raise your hand nice and high. If you still have a little bit of doubts, you're like, okay, thank you for your honesty. I want to ask this, and I ask this pretty much every event because it's an important thing. How many of you would already be happy if, as a result of this event, you were to be able to make at least $1,000? Who would be happy with that? Raise your hand nice and high. That just 1,000 as a result of this event. Okay, cool. Now, by the way, we've had so many events where people made far more than that during the event as a direct consequence of the event. Now, who's excited for that? Who wants to go and do that also? Raise your hand nice and high. All right, cool. But let me ask you this then. If you make 1K, would you do it again? Would you repeat the actions that got you to 1K? Obviously. And then if you do it 10 times, then you make 10K. How many of you would be happy if you make 10K as a result of this event? All right, cool. Now, who here, after making 10K, would do it again? Raise your hand nice and high. Or would you be like, oh, 10K, that's enough for me. I'm done. I'm retired. You would do it again, right? Now, if you do that 10 times, guess what? You're going to be part of the 6-figure club. Raise your hand nice and high if you want to be part of the 6 figures club. Let's go, 6 figures. All right, now 6 figures means 100,000 and above. So, okay, now we have that established. How many of you would then repeat that action? Or multiply yourself by forming a team. Multiply yourself by automating parts of your business so that you can do the 6-figure thing, the 100K thing, another 10 times. Who would do that? Raise your hand nice and high. Exactly. So if there is still someone that is thinking, oh, I'm not so sure if I can do it, then I want you to understand that it's just the multiplication or making 1K just a couple of times extra. Does that make sense? So you make 1K, you make 1K again, you make 1K again, and then you just repeat it. But the power of this event is that I'm going to share with you exactly step by step how to scale it. Because making the 1K and making the 10K and making the 100K even, they're kind of the same level of activity. Maybe between 10K and 100K, there's already some nuance differences. But from definitely, let's say 50K or 100K towards the million, there's going to be another set of actions that allow for efficient multiplication. Now, who wants to learn all of that? To really know step by step, predictably, and I want everybody to write this word down, it's about predictably. Because I can share with you guys 1,000 different strategies that are going to help with making some money. But I don't care about any of those unless I can predictably know if I do this step and if I do this action, if I do this action with consistency, this is the financial outcome. How many of you want to know that too? So this is actually what we're going to break down on the 5th day. That is why I'm saying, why I said so confidently earlier, that on the 6th day, which is the 9th of November, or day 5 of the event, you're going to know exactly how to make 1 million. But you're going to be faced with a question. And the question that you're going to be faced with is, I know how to do it now. Am I going to do it? Who is going to do it? And by the way, everything I'm teaching is ethical. Everything that I'm teaching is good. Don't worry, like you're going to have to do something weird. No, because we don't believe in that. We don't believe in doing whatever it takes. That's why we have a saying, which is, do whatever good it takes. Does that make sense? I want everybody to comment that below. Do whatever good it takes. Because at the end of this day, or at the end of this life, better yet, like we're not taking any of our possessions with us. When the time comes that we get to leave this body and we carry on, we don't bring our money, we don't bring our awards, we don't bring our status. What we do bring, however, is the good deeds and the good energy that we have brought to this world. Does that make sense? So that is why I believe in doing things in an ethical, good, empowering, abundant way. Does that make sense? Who aligns with that? But then I want to ask you this, because your life is going to transform. I know it because we've run events for almost the last 10 years. And I know that your life is going to change if at least you allow yourself to. And you allow yourself to stay until the end. Will you do that? Comment below and say, I'm going to run through the finish line. Because a lot of people say, yes, I want to make money. But it's those that actually do it that get the results. So comment below and say, I'm going to be all in. Now, that being said, let me then sketch the exercise. So the exercise that I want you guys to do is called the SKEPT. So write this down, SKEPT. What does that stand for? Definitely not skeptical, because that's not what we are. We're not skeptical people. But this stands for S, skill sets. And by the way, if you have done this exercise before, do it again. Because every single time you do it, you will have evolved. You're different, you're more smart, you're more awesome. And so your SKEPT will actually change over time. My SKEPT changes all the time. Yeah? So the first one is skill sets. I want you guys to write down, and this is the homework for you guys to start executing in this next coming week before day 1. So what are the different skills that you have? It could be skills on typing. I'm a very good typer. It could be skills of listening. I'm a very good listener. It could be skills for, I'm very skilled in using Excel. Whatever skills, like whatever skills you have over the last couple of years, whether you think is monetizable or not, you're going to go and write them down. And don't be humble. This is one of those exercises where you are not allowed to be humble, all right? You're going to be bold. You're going to be like, yeah, I can do this, I can do that, I can do the other. Don't be humble. All right, next. K. K stands for, bye, Simran. All right, catch you on the next week, yeah? Holding you accountable. And I see you Monday as well. All right, the K stands for knowledge. So knowledge, write down everything that you have knowledge in. This could be knowledge from books, Project 1 Million book. This could be knowledge from school, knowledge that you picked up from your work. This could be knowledge from the street knowledge, right? So whatever knowledge you have, write that down. So it could be, I have knowledge in spirituality. I have knowledge about AI. I have knowledge about cooking. I have knowledge about raising a family, whatever, any of those things. And by the way, when I say you have knowledge, I'm not saying that you have to be the best. Because can I tell you guys a secret? We are not the best. I just want you guys to know. You're here at Project 1 Million, and you're here with good intentions to go and learn how to build a strong business empire and make $1 million in 1 year or faster. But we're not the best. There are other companies out there that are way more rich, got way more results. But let me tell you one thing. You know why I love that you guys are here? It's because we have a very specific skill. And that is that we have the ability to bring out the best in you. Does that make sense? We're not the best, but we can bring out the best in you. And for that, I'm far more proud than if we were the richest company or the biggest company or the fanciest company. Does that make sense? And the same holds for you. You don't have to be the best in any of these things, but it's about how can you help another individual. If you know more than another person, then you can bring them up. And that's all that matters in business. Does that make sense? So again, don't be humble. Write this all down. Next is experience. What are different things that you are experienced in? Like, do we have any parents in the house? Raise your hand if you're a parent. Yay! You guys are experienced in communication, I think. Telling your kids, do your homework, eat your vegetables, go to bed on time. So communication, you have experience in what does it take to overcome a situation when your kid is learning certain things. There's a lot of things that you guys have experience in. And could you guys help other parents? Probably. Now that's one area. How many of you have ever overcome a health situation? Anybody like that? Maybe you weren't so fit and now you have become more fit. Maybe you had certain health issues and you've overcome that. How many people in this world do you think are perhaps currently undergoing what you have already overcome? Could you help them? Of course. How many of you here have ever been in a relationship that wasn't the most pleasant, a little bit toxic? Could be a romantic relationship, could be a friendship, or anything of the sort. How many people right now are in the midst of a toxic relationship and they have no clue how to get out of it? Or they have no clue how to work on that relationship, if it's worth working on. Does that make sense? They would love to know how you did it, what you were able to do so that you came out victorious. Does that make sense? So write down, what experiences have you gone through? Yeah, write this down. Let me share one experience that I've gone through. Do you guys know that I used to be an astrophysicist? I was a PhD in astrophysics. I was about to become a doctor in the field. 5 more months before I was handing my thesis and become a doctor in astrophysics, I quit my PhD and I started my business instead. Now, that's a big career change, right? Now, how many of you here are in a job right now, but similarly to myself, being in my PhD, which was a paid position, didn't feel like that was really fulfilling? Anybody like that? Raise your hand nice and high. That you were doing something, it pays the bills, but it was not really what you are excited about. And in the morning you wake up and you're not like, yeah, jumping for joy. Let's what can I do today? No, it's like, oh, you have to drag yourself out of bed. Now, I've had experience in that. And I've had experience in changing my life around, going from one thing that I've studied for 9 years to then all of a sudden learning about business, doing everything from scratch. That's something that I have experienced in that I could help you with, for instance, one of the things. Does that make sense? So whatever is the case, your experiences in life, as simple they may seem to you, actually could mean the difference to another person. Make sense? So write down all your experiences. Next, passion. Write down everything you're passionate about. I'm passionate about singing. I'm passionate about dancing. I am passionate about tasting food that my parents have cooked. Anybody else like that? That's a passion of mine. All right, cool. So what are you passionate about? Maybe you're a foodie. Any foodies in the house? Any people that love cooking? Any people that love being in nature? Any nature lovers? All right, awesome. Write that down. All your passions, put it on there. Yeah, very important. And then last but not least, write down everything that you're talented in. Now, when it comes to being talented, sometimes people kind of confuse, Milo, why are you're doing this? I heard you are a very talented artist, so that's very good. You're very talented in catering after your cats, so you're a very talented individual. Don't be so hard on yourself. But some people are like, okay, what's the difference between talents and skills? I usually say that talents are those things that may become natural to you, and skills are typically those things that you've learned. But if you don't know if it's a talent or a skill, then smush the two together in one column. It doesn't really matter for the sake of this exercise. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? All right, cool. So today or tomorrow, I want you guys to set aside maybe an hour of your time and make your step list. And what will likely happen if you are listening to me and you're not being humble, you're going to have a list with maybe 100 plus things on there. And then you're going to do the next thing. What you do next is that you're going to shortlist it. So if you like working with multiple colored pens, you're going to grab a red pen, a green pen, and you're going to ask yourself a question for every skipped element. And you're going to ask with the first one, Can I help a lot of people with this or not so many? If you can't help a lot of people with it, you say, wah, 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 wah. But if you can help a lot of people with it, then you say, da-da-da-da. So you go through this entire list, and then from that, you get a shorter list, the short list. Now you carry on that process until you are left with a total of 5 elements. Yeah? 5 step elements. Those are the 5 elements that you can help the most people with. Are you guys clear on this exercise? Is everybody with me? Who's going to do this exercise? Well, that should be all of you, yeah? Especially if you want to make $1 million, this is going to be important. But then you're going to do one more exercise. And you're also going to add 5 core values. Yeah, you want to write down what are your core values. For instance, for me, my core value, or one of my biggest core values, is family. Is there anybody here who loves family, or loves community, love friends, love people? Beautiful. So because family is one of my core values, I also attract people that share similar core values. This sounds, by the way, a very interesting thing, because you attract what you are. Does that make sense? That's why it's very important that you are you. Be yourself. Don't feel like you have to pretend to be like this person or that person. No, be yourself. Very important, because you attract what you are. And there are sometimes people that think like, oh, I have to pretend to be like this, or I have to pretend to be like that. But if you do, at the end of the day, it's going to be exhausting because you're pretending all the time. But also you're going to attract people that are like that, which aren't necessarily your people, if that makes sense. Yeah? So either way, it's going to bite you in the butt some moment. Clear? So be you. That's the best person you can be, and nobody else in the world is you. So that's good. So then you have these things. You have 5 branding pillars, and you have 5 core values. And that is what you're going to share with us. So we can help you how to then translate this into your branding pillars. Does that make sense for everybody? So again, if there's anybody here who's not yet part of a family, make sure that you join a family. So I'm going to put the link in here once more, because it is in the families that we then create a private chat with you, and then we are going to help you in this process. But not only that, we're actually going to do a lot more to mentor you, so that you then, by the end of this event, November 9th, have clarity on what to do. Is that clear? So is there anybody not yet part of a family? Then click on this link and join a family, again, free of charge, so that we can then go and help you with these exercises. Now, once that is done, then here's what's next. So when you have your 5 core step elements, 5 core values, then you're going to translate that to branding pillars. Now, what are branding pillars? Branding pillars are basically the 5 pillars that are going to be the foundation of your brand. AKA, those are the topics that you're going to be adding value in. Those are the topics for the videos that you're going to make. But here's the cool thing, because within those branding pillars, and obviously within those 5 things that you've put in here, you will then have your first business that you will monetize. Does that make sense? So whatever it is that, if you already have a business, then make sure that that business is within here. Or as some people do, they actually realize that the existing business isn't as scalable or not as efficient, so they change it around with us. Now, that is very important for everybody to then be aware of. So then, here's the thing. I'm sharing with you guys now my branding pillars. So if you want, take a picture of it, because I want you guys to understand how the branding pillars then flow into income. And here's how this works. So you have different branding pillars. These are mine. So my first one is my business and marketing, which is, by the way, the first income stream that I have created. And then there's the inspiration and empowerment, which I love. I love to inspire people. There's the lifestyle and travel, where I share people behind the scenes. Family, one of the core values, made it to the branding pillars. I share a lot of different things regarding family and entertainment, because I love to sing and dance and all the rest of it, yeah? So the purpose is this. During this event, on day number 1, 2, or 3, I can't remember which day we're going to do this, you are going to pick which branding pillar you're going to monetize as a part of this event. Does that make sense? So you're going to pick one of them. Now, there is always a few people that say, well, I don't know which one to pick, and they're thinking and thinking and thinking and not doing anything. But here's the thing. I want everyone, as you're doing your homework, already start thinking, which one do you want to be the one that you're going to monetize? Make money with that pillar. And if it is so that you pick one branding pillar to monetize as a part of this event, and then later maybe you change your mind, maybe later you say, well, actually, I like this other pillar more, that's totally fine. Then as a part of this event, you apply everything for one branding pillar, but then after the event, you just shift it around and use the knowledge that you have to then do it for the other pillar. Does that make sense? But you do have to choose something, because if you are going to be indecisive, aka you're not able to make a decision, then you're going to not experience the full benefits of this event. So who is decisive? Raise your hand, comment below and say, I am decisive. Comment that into the chat box. Make that one of your how you call it, affirmations. It's a very important thing. There's actually a correlation between success and decisiveness. It is those people that are most successful are also the most decisive people. Whereas those people that can't make a decision, they're passive, they're thinking, overthinking, skeptical, they are typically the people that don't get any success, or it takes them 5 million years to get there. Does that make sense? And we ain't got time for that, do we? So be decisive. Now, that then being said, let me share what I did. So basically, you have your first branding pillar, then the next branding pillars, they can become future income streams. So what I did, I first monetized this one branding pillar. So you're going to learn about this too. How do you make a system? We're going to talk about that, how you build a database, a list. But then the next income stream, that is something that you can then apply to as well. And then you can do another income stream and another income stream. And that's the cool thing, what I want you guys to realize. This is how we educate our students that are actually part of our program. What we do is we train them up on how to do this for one business. But we do it in such a way that after they've created this one business and they do it successfully, they can actually create another business applying the same steps. Does that make sense? And then another income stream, and then another income stream. But what is important for everybody to note is that you don't want to build 5 income streams at the same time. Does that make sense? Because if you do 5 different things, you're too spread. You're too scattered. And if you have scattered focus, you get scattered results. Now, who here wants real results? Raise your hand nice and high. All right, good. So pick one, yeah? Unless you're Carla, and Carla has 2 symbiotic income streams. She actually monetizes 2 at the same time. Ooh la la. But she's one of our diamond students, so she can do it. But otherwise, focus on one at a time. Capiche? You guys still with me? Everybody, raise your hand nice and high. Say yes. All right, cool. Next, secret of the riches. I want everybody to write this down because, again, I'm sharing with you the meat and the potatoes, and I'm sharing with you the mindset and the rules, all intertwined. And by the way, both are necessary. Because did you guys know this? I want everybody to write it down. Success is a mind game. Success is a mind game. I want everyone to write this down. Why? It's because actually everybody is capable of creating something beautiful and making money. But not everybody is allowing themselves to do it. How many of you can resonate with that? How many of you have ever stood in your own way? It is a process of allowing. Allowing. Yeah? Who's going to allow yourself to be successful? All right, Alice, beautiful smile. Love it. And I want to say this other thing, because maybe some of you still have a bit of a weird concept of what success really is. Because a lot of us are really educated in a very destructive way. And I am very outspoken about that. I don't believe in the educational system, not in the way how it is executed in most of the places in the world. And I also don't believe that society has our best interest at heart. I'll share with you guys some of the reasons why I think that is, but it's not about what I believe or whether you agree with me or not. What is important, though, is that you understand the effects of the things around us on you and your mind and your ability, therefore, to create results. Does that make sense? Because I want you guys to get results. Who's with me? Raise your hand nice and high. All right. Now, should there still be someone here that feels like success? It feels almost like a weird word. Success. Ooh, weird. And if there's anybody here that wonders, like, do I deserve success? Is there anybody like that, by the way? That you're wondering, do I really deserve it? Can I really be successful or anything like that? Now I want to share this with you. Has anybody ever heard of this term self-love? Anybody? Self-love. Everybody, give yourself some love. Give yourself a hug, everybody together. Self-love, yeah. Give yourself a pat on the back. Say, yeah, I'm awesome. Let's go, let's go. Okay, cool. Self-love, right? We're all familiar with the term, especially in the last couple of years. This has been a big topic for a lot of people to talk about. Did you guys know that success is one of the highest forms of self-love? I want everybody to write this down. Success is one of the highest forms of self-love. Why? It is that you love yourself so much that you know that you deserve the best possible life, and that you allow yourself to not settle for anything but what is best for you, what is success for you. Does that make sense? And it is those people that love themselves so much that go out there and actually make it happen. And let me share another thing. How many of you here actually, when you get that success, when you make that money, who would actually like to help your family? When you make more money, who's going to help more family members? Yes, Dare. Yes, Dana. Beautiful. Yes, Orleen. Absolutely. Yes, Luani. So that's a good thing. So do you think that your family deserves your success? Of course. Do you think that you deserve your success? Of course. So I want everybody to write this down. Success is one of the highest forms of self-love. And number two, I want you to write down this one as well. I deserve the absolute most beautiful life. Write that down. I deserve the absolute most beautiful life. And I really want you guys to take that to heart, because you do absolutely deserve that. And unless you realize that, you're not going to implement all of the beautiful steps that is going to create that success for you. Does that make sense? So who's with me? Who's going to say, I deserve it? I deserve it. Yay. I'm open to it. Everybody with me. Open your arms and say like, yay. I am ready to receive the beautiful abundance. I'm going to give abundance and I'm going to receive abundance. All things good. Yeah? Now, that being said, let us then go and share the next step. And this is a very important one too. Again, another secret of the riches. Write this down. Secret number 2. Saving money is one of the craziest things to do. Now, this is a family show, so I'm not going to swear. But what I will say is that saving your way to wealth did no wealthy person. All right? So let me break it down this way. You basically have 3 things that you can do with money. You can do what many people do, which is just spend it all. Spend it on dumb stuff. Or, as a lot of people know, spend it on liabilities. Does anybody here know what liabilities are? All right, I'll tell you. Liabilities are basically things that rest, rot, and depreciate. So these are things that will not grow in value. So let me give you an example. Is there anybody here that sometimes buys or does weird stuff and then go and buy? Sorry, that didn't make any sense. Is there anybody here that does weird stuff? Never mind what I said. Can you give me an example of a liability? Anybody? Now that I've explained what the definition is, something that decreases in value. So I'll give one to the girls. Girls, those Gucci bags, those are not assets. Those are liabilities because they do not appreciate in value. They go down in value over time. Cars, exactly. A car is a liability. Unless that car contributes to you making your money. So for a racer, a professional race driver, the car is an asset because that's the way how this person makes their success happen. But for most of us that are not race drivers, it's not for us. It's not an asset. What else? Buying clothes. That's not an asset. Like, we need clothes, obviously, to do our things. Otherwise, we would have a very weird event without clothes, right? But it's not an asset. So this is one way. So most people, they spend their money on liabilities. Now, what's the next level? The next level is that you then say, okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save some money. Now, saving money is better than spending money on dumb stuff, all right? Because at least you're putting it aside to use it for another day. But did you guys know that when you save money, it depreciates? Who knows that? Because the value of each currency goes down over time. So if you're putting it in the bank, you're already allowing it to depreciate. So that's not what most people do. Also, just for you guys to be aware, even though saving is better than spending it on dumb stuff, when you save it, you're not going to make a million saving your money from just the appreciation. And then maybe if you had 1,000 years to live, then maybe that would be a strategy. But there's no multimillionaire that used that as a strategy to go and create wealth. So here wants to learn how to create wealth. Raise your hand nice and high if that's you. Okay, good. So that's then the next one, is that you learn how to invest. So write this down. Invest in assets. Now what is an asset? Unlike a liability, an asset grows in value over time. Yeah? So an asset is something that grows in value, and a liability is something that depreciates. So saving money is not the way how you're going to build wealth, but it is definitely better than spending it on stupid things. Clear? Is that clear for everybody? So then also I want to share with you guys the fourth secret. And you guys might be thinking, why are we going from 2 to 4? I don't know, but we're doing it. So here we go. We're free thinkers, free out of the box. So write this down. Secret number 4 is invest in assets, not liabilities. And that is also going to be connected with this next slide. So I want you guys to then see how in our daily lives, sometimes we kind of violate this rule. So I want everybody to have a look at this. This is an interesting thing because there's lots of different assets and there's lots of different, resources that we can invest in assets or put towards liabilities. So time is a resource. Money is a resource. So what we have to understand is that we want to put our resources towards assets, not liabilities. Make sense, everybody? You guys with me? Not just money, also your time. And so here's a couple examples. So a lot of people, they say, oh, 2 hours on a masterclass or 2 hours on Project 1 Million, I don't have the time for it. But the same people easily watch 2 hours on Netflix and say, oh, time flies. Let's watch another episode. How many of you have ever been guilty of that one? I think it's all of us, right? Okay, next. Oh, $197 on an online course. I can't afford it. But $197 on a night out. Let's go out again next week. You guys understand what I mean? Now, I'm not saying don't spend time with family and loved ones. That's important too. But if you do all the time these things, then yeah, no wonder you're broke. Next, $1,000 to start a business. Too expensive. $1,000 on a holiday. Why not? Let's go. Anybody can resonate with that one? Anybody been guilty of that one? Of course, it's all of us. Now, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't ever go on a beautiful holiday with your loved ones. But it's the choices that we make. Are we doing that all the time and not getting anything to grow? Or are we actually every now and again doing it, but we also allow us to grow more income so that we can do more fun stuff with our families? Now, last but not least, 2,000 to invest in the biggest asset of all, which is you. I can't justify that. Ooh, heart is racing. Doom, 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 doom. But 2,000 on the new orange iPhone. I need it, even if it's on a plan. Let's go. How many of you understand what I'm saying? Again, how many of you are having an aha moment right now? Because this is what I want you guys to get. We're all guilty of some of these things. But it's about what do we do consistently? So am I saying, hey, you can never spend on something nice to treat yourself? Of course not. Everybody should do that, actually. If you listen to the rules of allocating your money by T. Harv Eker, then actually 10% of your money should go towards treating yourself and your loved ones and doing something fun. They call it play. But 90% of the money should go towards more constructive things. Because too many people, they have only short-term satisfaction in mind. Oh, let me just do this now. This is fun now. But they don't have any long-term abilities. And that brings me to the next thing. Because how many of you, if you are to look at your financial situation or on your business situation, you've actually been stuck for some time? Let me know in the chat box. How many of you have been wanting to make some changes for some time? And if so, let me know, how long is some time? How long have you been trying to create this life of your dreams? Let me know in the chat box. How long have you been trying to create financial freedom? How long have you been trying to grow your business? Because the thing is that it has to do with patterns. And we are a sum of our actions, of our beliefs, obviously, that lead to our actions, and therefore the patterns that we have. And if you want to go and create change in your life, you got to be aware of what are your patterns and how can I break them in my favor? How can I transform my patterns? So let me ask you this. How many of you, if you were to log into your bank account and you look at it as an equation of time, and here's the money, how many of you would see something like this? That by the end of each month, there's an influx of money, and then over the time it goes down. And then again, there's an influx of money, and then it goes down all the way again. And then the influx. How many of you have a pattern like this? I see some of you nodding. Some of you raising your hand. Thank you for sharing. Do you guys also know this? 2 versus 166. Anybody know what this means? 2 versus 166. This is basically a little wealth, well, I won't say joke, but a little wealth realization, is that the most successful, most affluent people, they have 166 incoming payments versus 2 outgoing payments per month, or this scaled up. So they have a humongous amount more incoming payments than outgoings. The most of us have it the other way around. We have 2 incoming payments, our rent, our salary, and maybe something else, versus a lot of payments going out every single day. Does that make sense? That's a pattern. So how many of you would actually like to transform this pattern in a new one that allows you to grow your income? Who wants that? Raise your hand. That your income is going to grow, and not every single time you're kind of like counting your quarters, how much you can do, when you can buy the blueberries, or you have to go for the strawberries. You should be able to do both. Does that make sense? But secret number 3 is what's going to determine whether you will or won't. So write this down. Secret number 3 of the riches. Rich versus poor. The difference in whether you're rich or whether you're poor, and I say this a little bit bluntly, but whether you are financially free or whether you're financially stuck, lies in 2 things: your ability and your willingness to manage your money. So let's talk about those 2 things. Ability. What does that mean? It means that you're able to do it. Now, most people are not able to do it. Why? Because most people operate on wrong data. Does that make sense? Because do you guys learn in school how to actually build your wealth? No, we don't. You learn this from different people around you? No, you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Does that make sense? So we don't learn this. Most people are operating on the wrong data. So I can't blame anybody for not having broken free yet. Does that make sense? You can also not blame yourself for not knowing it until today. Can I make this clear to you guys? If you don't know how to, or you haven't known how to, then you can't be blamed for it. But this event is going to change that. This event is going to train you so that you know how to do it, that you have the ability to go and do it. Then the question is, will you do it? So up until this event, you couldn't be blamed for not being the most rich person in the world. But up until now it becomes choice. Does that make sense? Because I'm going to train you guys up. By the end of this event, you will have the ability to do it. So who's going to do it? Raise your hand nice and high. Who is going to do it? I'm going to hold you to it. Yeah? And that's why the second one is even more important. The willingness. It is not just having the ability and the know-how, it's especially the willingness. But I want to share another thing. And I think this story, like this is a personal story of mine, something that I have learned and I've actually lived through. And it changed my perspective on wealth creation. And I think if I'm going to share this with you guys, it will change your lives too. But before that, I want to ask you guys a question. Who is it again that wants to make 1 million in 1 year and then continue doing it afterwards? Okay, what are you going to be required to do? If you want to make 1 million, what are you going to have to do at some point? Who can tell me? How are you going to get the cha-chings? Take action, for sure. Yes, Carla. You're going to have to sell. You're going to have to sell. So I have a question for you guys. Who loves sales? Raise your hand nice and high if you do. Who loves sales? Yes, some of you. But some of you are looking at me with frightened eyes. Let me ask you a question. Who doesn't like sales so much? Oh, goodness. Raise your hand if that's you. Oh, okay. Now, let me share one thing. A lot of the time, and I want everybody to write this down, a lot of the time, we are not good at the things that we just don't know enough about. I've learned this from Grant Cardone. I'm not good at makeup because I just don't know enough about it. I don't have any experience. I tried to put lippy. I've tried to put mascara, but then I feel like I look like a spider of some sort. I was like, well, okay, that's not for me. But had I actually got the mentorship in how to do lippy, I probably would learn and like it more. Does that make sense? We are not good at those things that we don't know enough about. So I'm here to saying that if you are one of those people that are not good at sales or don't like sales yet, it's probably because you don't know enough about it. But it also doesn't help that there are people in this world that are giving sales a bad name. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those scammers. Those people that might not be scammers, but they are just trying to make a quick buck and they're not actually caring about the individuals that they're speaking with. Like if sales were just a slimy, manipulative activity to just make a quick buck out of people, then I wouldn't like it either. But that's not what the true art of sales is. And I want to teach you the true art of sales. So I want everybody to write down 2 definitions that we, inspired by our mentors and people that we've worked with, have put together for you guys. So the first definition, you can find it in the book, and I'm just going to share it with you right here. So write this down. Number 1, definition of sales. Selling is surfing, and it is a spiritual activity to help another person see a better life or better future and to move them towards it. Let me say that again. Selling is surfing, and it's a spiritual activity of empowering an individual to see a better future and to move them towards it. Now, listening to that definition of sales, who thinks you actually like it a bit more? Raise your hand nice and high. Empowering, helping, serving. That doesn't sound weird or unkind at all. Nice. Let me give you the second definition of sales in the way that we practice it and we teach it. Write this down. Selling is caring about someone so much that you're not giving up on them, even though they have given up upon themselves. Let me say that again. Selling is caring about someone so much that you're not giving up on them, even though they have given up upon themselves. How many of you like that definition? And both are true. And I want to tell you this story from my rookie days, because I wasn't born knowing how to sell. Actually, we all were. As children, we are the best salespeople. You know why? Saying, mommy, daddy, can I have a cookie? Can I play outside? Can I do this? Can I do that? As children, actually, naturally, we are very good at sales, but that's for another day. But when I started in business, that was the moment that I quit my PhD and I actually invested in myself with money that I didn't have. And I then started learning from my mentor. And I actually took it a step further. I moved to the UK, from the Netherlands to the UK, and I started working for the company of my mentor. And the first thing that I learned was sales and marketing, which is one and the same thing. Write that down for yourself. Sales and marketing is the same thing, just otherwise executed. So what was I doing? I was learning how to sell tickets to a life-changing event. Back in the day, with our first multi-million-dollar company, we ran an event called Superpower Live. Anybody here remembers that event? Yeah, Marita, you came to it. Yes, nice. And it was a 3-day event in the center of London. People came in the morning, and every single day, from morning till evening, we were training people on how to get their mind right, how to learn how to build a business, and how to also spiritually align themselves with the energy of wealth. So it was a very, very powerful event. And guess what I was doing? I was calling people up that have raised their hands that they wanted to be part of the event, and I was selling tickets of £100. Now let me ask you a question. Do you guys think it's worth £100 if you're going to have a 3-day in-person live event that's going to transform you? Well, of course it is. Yeah? But let me tell you another secret. I've actually never told this, is that we did a no-show fee. So it meant that people had to pay £100, but then if they showed up on the event, they got the money back. So it's just literally to secure their space. That was what we actually did. But anyways, £100 would be more than worth it. So here's what we were doing. We were calling people up and then telling them about the event that they have raised their hand for, that they want to be part of, and then closing them on £100 tickets. Back when I got started, that was in 2016, February to be exact, we started and we operated from a garage in a house, as many young companies do. So I remember very vividly, I was sitting here on this side of a desk, and then Masashira Kashna, my mentor and brother from another mother, was sitting over here, and then we had my colleague, Linus from Lithuania, who was equally as rookie as me, in the garden. And he was calling people, I was calling people. But it was so funny, because he was on a call with a person, and this call took an hour. He was walking back and forth, and was like walking. And he was going through all the emotions. He was laughing with the client. He was almost crying with the client, looking very sincere. And I remember me and my mentor, Masashira Kashna, were looking at each other like, hey, like, that's an interesting call. I wonder whether he will actually close. So after an hour, the guy came into the office, and we said, hey, how did it go? Did you close the deal? He's like, these are the words that he spoke. Good guy. Such a good guy. It's like, okay, nice. But did you close? Is he coming to the event? It's like, no. Like, he really wanted to. And he said this event was what he was waiting for. But he only had £100 in his account, left in his account. And I couldn't do it. The guy's got to eat. Now, as a rookie, I sympathized with what he said. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that either. Like, he obviously has to eat. Who can sympathize with that? Okay. But then my mentor stood up, and he walked up to the both of us, and he shared a story that to this day I hold dear, and I share with my students, you guys. And it changed my life, and it changed my perspective. And he did that by asking 3 questions to my colleague. I want everybody to write these 3 questions down. First question that he asked is, do you think that this event is gonna change his life? He said, yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, he said, where have you guys been all my life? I've been looking for something like this. Okay, good. So that means that the product is something that the client needs. Perfect. Second question he asked. He said, is this the first time that the guy only's got £100 left in his account at the end of the month? My colleague said, no. He actually said it's been a pattern for a long time. Every single month, it's the same thing. He's been having this for years now. So what do we see? It's a pattern. And then he asked the third question. And you may be shocked by the third question because it's really weird. He said to my colleague, if you sell him this ticket, do you think he will die? Like, what? What do you mean? Do you think he will die? Well, you said it yourself. You said he has only £100 left and the event is 2 weeks from now. Do you think that he will die of starvation? He's like, well, probably not. I mean, he did mention that he's got some friends and got good family, so he'll probably be able to eat in with them. I said, okay, cool. So he said, What you need to do now is you pick up back that phone, call the guy up, and close the deal. And so then my colleague listened. He went to the garden, again, a half an hour back and forth conversation, but he closed the deal. The guy invested his final 100 pounds and was going to be registered for the event. 2 weeks later, we were having the event. And guess what? The guy rocked up. So my mentor said to my colleague, see, he's alive. So yeah, he's alive. And the event changed his life. You guys hear what I'm saying? The event changed his life. And that's why the second definition of sales is very important for us to hold dear. Let me say it again. Selling is caring about someone so much that you're not going to give up on them, even though they have given up upon themselves. And that guy has given up on himself because he had the money to buy, but he's like, no, like this and that and the other. Sometimes you're going to help someone to break their patterns. When someone does want change, but they may not yet have that willingness and ability, you're going to help them to get to that stage. How many of you understand what I'm saying? How many of you can feel what I'm saying? Now, who is willing to care about others in the same way? That you're going to help people change their patterns. You're going to help people live a better life. Who's with me on that one? Who wants to build such a business that you know that you're going to help them change their ways? Now, if you don't know exactly what kind of business that is, don't worry, because you're at the right address. Project 1 Million. We're going to train you up. We're going to help you out. We have the exercises, you have the private mentorship, we have the entire 5 days, so that by the end of this, you'll know what it is for you. But my question is, can you align with this way of doing business? Who can align with that? Comment below and say align. I align with it. All right? So this is very important. Now, what's next? The next one I'm going to share with you. Don't kill your money. Secret number 5, don't kill your money. And I'm going to share another one with you straight away. Number 6, love your debt. Ooh, what a weird one to share. So 5, don't kill your money. 6, love your debt. Now I have a question for you guys. Because if we're going to talk about debt, how many of you here don't like debt? How many of you have been taught not to go in debt? All debt is bad. Who's been taught that? Yeah, a lot of us. A lot of us have been taught that. And it's an interesting thing because I want everybody to actually take the effort to write this down. Name any successful person. Any successful person. Any one of them have built more wealth by leveraging good debt. I cannot name a single highly successful person that did not leverage debt at some point in their journey. So let me tell you what's the difference. So there's debt, right? But not all debt is equal. Debt, what does it mean? It means that you use another person's money, right? You can have debt with the bank, you can have debt with parents, like for me. When I actually didn't tell you my story, but when I went into business or when I started learning about business, I had no clue how to do it. And I actually went to an event. It's called a Wealth Dragons event. I don't know. Does anybody here know the Wealth Dragons? Oh my goodness, that's such a long time ago. Yeah, Orlean knows the Wealth Dragons. Okay, awesome. So they had an event called the Business Lifestyle something. I can't remember even the name of the full event, but I went there, and it was at that event that I met my mentor to be, Master Shri Akashna. And it was interesting, and I want everybody to actually write this down. Like, I want everybody to know that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Write that down. Don't reinvent the wheel. Find someone that has got results, exactly those results that you are looking to have, and learn from them. In other words, find yourself a mentor. And that's, by the way, another thing that I cannot name a single successful person that hasn't had a mentor. Many people that are super successful have had multiple mentors, whether it's a successful athlete, successful singer or entertainer, successful business person. Find yourself a mentor. I want everybody to write that down for yourself. And that mentor, make sure that that person that you're going to learn from actually not only has the results that you want, but is living the life that you want to live. Because that matters too. Yeah? So when I came to my very first event, I was sitting there and I was looking on the stage, and there was this one guy who rocked up. And I was looking at his story and what he was presenting, and he was a multi-million-dollar business owner. And when I listened to the story and everything that he was sharing, I was like, wow, that's my mentor. Is anybody familiar with that feeling that you just meet someone you've never seen in your entire life and you're like, wait a second, that's my mentor? And why was that for me? It was not the fact that he knew a lot about business and he had done the success, had the success, but it was especially when he spoke about his orphanage, his charity, and the way how he spoke about his family. He was not just doing good business, but he was looking after those people that he loves. He was making a difference in the world. Like, how many of you can resonate with that too? And when I heard that, I was just like, man, I want to learn from this guy. But this guy had the mentorship program of $7,000. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have that money. Is there anybody like that? That you wanted to do something and you're like, I don't have that kind of money in my pocket right now. That was me too. And so what I did in order, because for me, it felt like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Is there anybody here who's ever felt something like that? That you had an opportunity and it was just like, I have to do this, because if I don't do this right now, this opportunity is never going to come around in the same form. And that's what I felt. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, David. And so that was what happened with me. But I realized and I learned actually at that event, but even before that when it comes to debt, and I actually went to my parents and I asked them if I can borrow money. I called up my bank, and guess what? I had a study loan. Is there anybody else who has or had a study loan? Yay! That's what university is good for, right? You get a study loan, and you get a piece of paper, and a job at Starbucks. Let's go. No jokes. I'm being a bit ridiculous here, but you guys know what I mean, right? So there's actually such a thing as bad debt, and there's such a thing as good debt. And I want you guys to understand the difference, because not all debt is the same. So bad debt is if you go in debt to spend that money on a liability. Like if you say, hey, I just need to have that flat screen TV, and you're going to go to the bank and get a loan to get that TV. Like what are you doing? Because you're putting your money out there on something that's going to rest, rot, and depreciate. Does it make sense? That is bad debt. But what I did is I called up the bank. I said, hey, bank, I know I have a study loan already. But what can you do for me? And then the bank said, well, actually, we can top up your study loan. I said, yes, let's do it. And that's good debt. Why? Good debt is when you go in debt to invest in an asset. Something that will grow in value. And the holy grail of good debt is when that asset then produces you money that is then paying back the debt. Does that make sense? This is the holy grail of leveraging debt, or as we like to say, and I've learned from my mentors, OPM. I want everybody to write that down too. OPM is like the combination word or the category word of debt. It means other people's money. So you're leveraging other people's money. If I go to the bank, that's other people's money that I'm leveraging so that I can do what I want to do. But if what I want to do then grows me an income that then does two things. Number one, it fills my bank. So remember, the physical bank, this one grows, boom, 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 and it pays back my debt. That's the holy grail. How many of you are starting to understand what I'm saying? So again, going back to the secrets that we were just talking about, love your debt. Now, most people, they don't like debt at all. So they'll be like, what the heck are you saying, Tjibaria? This is ridiculous to even suggest. But let me share another funny thing. There was a speech that Grant Cardone did. He was standing on a beautiful stage with a lot of people on there, and people were actually discussing the topic of debt. And people were saying in the audience, well, I've got debts. I've got 10,000 in debt. I've got 20,000 in debt. I've got 25,000 in debt. They were saying like, yeah, I'm so, how do you say? I'm so worried because I need to pay my debts and I'm not making money and blah, 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 blah. And then he said something, and I thought it was interesting and cute because he was like, bless your hearts. Not exactly those words, but something to the effect. And it's like, I love your cute little debts that you have. He said, guys, I am $500 million in debt. He shared with the audience. $500 million in debt when he was running that presentation. You know what he said? He said, I love my debt so much, almost as much as my wife and children. He continued. And you want to know why? Because that debt is making me money. And with that money, I look after my children, I look after my church, I look after my community, I'm helping people with it. And that money that I'm making is paying that debt off. How many of you are having an aha moment? Now, let me say one quick thing. And by the way, if you have an aha moment, comment below and say, aha. But I want you to get the meaning of why I'm sharing this with you. I'm not saying, oh, guys, go 500 million in debt. I'm not even suggesting that. But I do want you guys to get an understanding into the minds of the most successful people. The most successful people are not going to be like, hey, I don't have this. No, they're like, how can I find this? How can I make it happen? How can I leverage the system to do what I want to do, to get the outcome that I want to do, and be respectful and pay my debts back? So let me give you an understanding of that better deeper. But this is opening up your mind. How many of you get an aha moment? Raise your hand nice and high. Give me a smile if you like it. All right, we're going to talk more about this during the event. Don't you worry. But I just want to get this started. Because again, there's no wealthy person on planet Earth, I dare say, that has not at one point in their lives leveraged OPM. Because if you're trying to do everything that you want to do just with the money in your pocket, it's going to slow you down. That being said, though, if you're like, well, wait a second, I just want to learn how to make a lot of money. Who wants to be that? You say, I just want to make a lot of money and build my business that way. Also good. Because guess what? Making money, making sales is also OPM. Do you guys get what I'm saying? If I'm selling you this pen, you're going to exchange your money with this pen, and this money that I now have was another person's money. So it's all in the same line, if that makes sense. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? Yeah? Okay, good. Now let's take it a step further. Let me give you another example. We were talking about don't kill your money. Anybody has any clue what that even means? Don't kill your money? Maybe some of you, that's been before, but let me explain it. So I'm going to give you an example of an asset. Anybody familiar with property? Yeah? Anybody knows that property is another form of asset? Yeah? Property is something that increases in value. Obviously, if you have the right type of property. But imagine that I just threw something on the floor. Imagine that you have $100,000 in your pocket. Can you guys all hold that for a second? Whoop! You have $100,000. Who can show me your $100,000? Yay! All right, awesome. You have $100,000 right here. And I don't know how you got it. Maybe you got it because you've implemented Project 1 Million strategies and you've made 100,000, or you have sold your own house, or you got inheritance, or whatever, right? You have 100,000. Now, imagine that there is a house and you want to get that house. I don't know why you want to get that house. Maybe you want to have it as an investment property. Anybody ever heard about monetizing houses? Renting it out, Airbnb, stuff like that. I know some of you are doing that actually, or thinking about doing that. Now imagine that you have this house that is just a house that you really, really want to have for whatever purpose. I have a question for you. What will you do? This house has a price of 100,000. What will you do? Will you take the 100,000 that you have and pay it in full in cash? Or will you work with the bank and say, I'm going to put the deposit down and I'm going to take a mortgage and then do it that way? Let me know which one you would do. Option number one, pay in full and fully own the house, no debts. or leverage the bank with a mortgage, option number 2. Let me know in the chat box what you would do. Lisa, I see Lisa's on the call. Lisa, I sent you a message. Have a look. I'm very excited to share something with you. All right, I see credits, so with the bank. Marilyn, also with the bank. How about the rest of you? Let me know in the chat box. Leverage, very good, Marta. All right, cool. So let me give you the wealth perspective correct option. It's option number 2, working with the bank. Why? Because if you were to put all of your money into this house, you will have killed your money. Now, what does that mean? It means that you have taken away the ability of that money to make more money. Does that make sense to everybody? Are you guys with me? Killing your money means is that you are making its ability to multiply non-existent. Why is the other option the better option? So let me write this down. We're going to work with Buddy Bank. So we're going to work with Buddy Bank. We have to put some sort of deposit down, right? So the deposit that we're putting down, if you have a 100K property, probably about 30%. So let's say we have to put 30K of our own money in it. That money we have to kill. But then we have 70K left in our pocket. All right? Now, what do we do with the bank? The bank then says, okay, I can borrow you 70K, but be aware, if you borrow money, there's an interest on it most of the time. Now, depending on the kind of bank, sometimes you can have a certain period interest-free, you can make negotiations. It's different per country, per bank, per situation. But let's just say that borrowing the 70K costs you 10K, so in total you have to pay back 80K. Does this make sense so far? So I put 30K down of my own money, 70K I borrow from the bank. With this, I buy the house, and then I have to pay back money. Let's just say every month I pay back, every year I pay back 10K. So 10K per month for 10K per year. 10K per year for 8 years. You guys with me so far? Who's with me? All right, good. Now let me tell you why this is an interesting thing. And this is why, again, the most rich, the most successful people don't kill their money. Now, during this event, whether that is day 2 or day 3, I can't remember just yet, because every single event we slightly change things around, we make it better, we make it faster. So on day 2 or day 3, you're going to learn this principle. If you make money, you can make money multiply. So I want everybody to write this down. Multiply. In school, we don't learn this. In school, what do we learn? What do we have experience with? Most of us, all we know is plus and minus. Look at our bank accounts. At the end of the month, there's plus. Then throughout the rest of the month is minus, 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 minus. Then at the end of the month, it's plus. Then minus, minus, minus. How many of us actually know how to multiply our money? Most of us don't. But not after this event. All right, so who's going to stay for the rest of this event? Raise your hand and say hi, give me a smile. You're going to learn how to multiply. But here's the thing then. So in this event, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, all things together, by the way, you can't skip a day also. Because if you skip a day, you miss an essential piece of the information. So you have to be there all 5 days. Will you make that effort for yourself? You're really going to commit and actually learn how it's done? All right. Thank you. But imagine that you learn how to multiply as a result of this event, and so that you can do the easiest, most conservative multiplication. Who can tell me what the easiest multiplication is? Well, I'll tell you, it's 2x. 2x. So, as a result of this event, you'll learn how to double your money. Whatever money you have, you're doubling it. If you're starting from scratch, you learn how to make it, and then you're doubling it. Now, this is super conservative, let me tell you. Why? Because a lot of our students are able to do actually phenomenal things. Like we had so many people that came to our events, and literally then they came on our program, and then they were able to 2x their investment in days. Like actually the fastest one, there's 2 people that share the top 1 space of multiplication. Simon, He 2x'd in 24 hours after starting to work with us. So whatever he invested to be part of our program, he doubled his investment, got it back. So he got his investment back and then the same amount double in 24 hours. We have another guy, two guys, they 5x'd their business in 10 days, 10 to 16 days, something like that. So I know that doubling, 2xing within an entire year is super conservative. But let's play this game conservative. Is that okay? Just as a thought experiment. Are you guys with me? Okay. So imagine you learn all the different things from Project 1 Million and you're implementing that stuff and you are able to double whatever you had. How much will you have by the end of this year? Or by the end of the first year? Not all at once. You'll have 140,000. Everybody say cha-ching! Everybody say cha-ching! Now you guys don't look happy. If you turn 70,000 into 140,000, are you not happy with it? I certainly would be happy, but I know why you're not happy. You want to do more, obviously. Now, if you are like, oh, but how do I do this? Don't worry. 5 days, they're going to teach you how to do it. But this is just a thought experiment so that you understand. So imagine, had you put all of that money into the house, you would have not been able to do this. Does that make sense? Because I want to give you an experiment, a thought experiment, so that you understand why not to kill your money. Had you paid it in cash, so that you don't owe anybody anything, you wouldn't have been able to now have 140 in your pocket. Does that make sense? But what do I do say? If you leverage, you do pay your responsibilities. So at the end of this year, then you have to pay 10K. So how much do you have left? Because every year we pay 10K, right? So then at the end of this year, we have what left? 130K. I have a question for you guys. How many of you at the end of year one would then be like, well, you know what? I'm going to pay off my debt right now. Because if I pay off my debt right now, there's 70K left because I've paid 10K. In total, it's going to be 80K. So I'm going to pay it off right now. And 70K, if I pay that, I've got 60K left. And then I'm going to do my business with 60K. How many of you would choose that? Option number one. Or how many of you would continue your business with the full 130K? Option number two. Let me know in the chat box which option you would choose. 1 or 2. I see a 2. I see another 2. Very good. And I see the rest of the people are either not typing. So if you're not typing, which number are you going to go to? Or 1? What's it for you? All right, cool. So let me tell you, the correct answer from a wealth creation, multiplication, secrets of the richest point of view is obviously number 2. Because what would happen if you put 70K now again here? You kill that 70K. You destruct its ability to make you more money. So the most rich people, they're like, yeah, I'm paying my bills, but I'm not going to make my ability to make more profit stop. So they're going to play the game again. Who would play the game again? Let me show you how that's done. So now, let's write this down. This was year number 1. This is now year number 2. Now I start with 130K. Now, I'm going to stay conservative. I'm going to stay conservative and only expect a person to be able to 2x it. But let me ask you seriously. Do you think that after a whole year in business, learning, implementing, developing, you might be able to do more than 2x? Maybe you're able to 3x or 5x or even 10x. Of course. But we're going to play it conservatively. All right? So now, after the second year, how much money have we made? Just thinking 2x. After the second year, we have now made 260K. Everybody with me. Celebrate good times. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. And again, those of you thinking, how do I do it? That's what you're going to learn in the event. But this is a thought experiment. Stay with me. But we don't have all of this to ourselves because what do? We pay our debts. So again, this year I pay another 10K. What do I have left? After paying my debts, I have $250,000 left. Wow! I feel good. I knew that I would. Who would feel good after this? I think that would be pretty awesome. Now I have a question for you guys. Now Year 3 is going to start. What are you guys going to do? Are you going to be like, okay, now I have only 60K left. Are you going to pay off the 60K in one go? Or are you going to play the game again? What are you going to do? Play again? Good question, Priyanka. And I'm going to explain that to you in just a second. She's asking, what if it's 0? What will the 2x do? 2 times 0 is 0. But you're going to actually learn how to do it. Don't you worry. So what will you guys do? Let me know in the chat box. You guys going to play the game again? Or are you going to pay it all off and kill your 60K? You're going to play again. Exactly. And that's what the rich people do. This is exactly what I mean when I say this is the holy grail of debt. The holy grail of debt is when you are, let me just add, I'll stop this example. The holy grail of leveraging OPM or debt, good debt that is when you're using that debt to invest in an asset that allows you to produce an income so that that income is bringing you profit, is number one, and that income is helping you pay off the debt. It's basically like, and this may sound like a very weird example, but it's basically like you're building like a sink, or you're building like a tap, sorry, not the sink, you're building the tap, and you're able to learn how to turn the tap on so that there's profit coming out. And that profit that's coming out, or the money that's coming out, is taking care of the debts and is bringing you profit. How many of you are understanding this way of thinking? Okay, good. Now here's the thing, and I want you guys to understand it, and then we're going to get to Priyanka's question, which is a really darn good question. I'm not saying this to you guys so that you guys are like, oh yeah, let's go and all go millions into debt. No, I'm not saying that for that reason. But I'm saying this so that you understand how the rich operate. That you want to allow yourself to be able to do it right. So let me tell you my example. You know my example? It was super, super simple. My example was not to invest in a house. My example was this. I wanted to invest in a program that could teach me how to make the money. So write this down. Just put all of this together so that you understand. This program was 7K. So it was not 100K. And I started with 0. I didn't have any money. But I also didn't know how could I make money from scratch. I didn't have the know-how, the ability, but I did have the willingness. I just didn't know how to do it. So I did what my mentors taught me, which is find myself a mentor. And I found it. So what I did, I went to not just Buddy Bank. I did go to Buddy Bank. And I went to Family. Yeah, these two. And from those two together, I basically got myself a loan that had a total of 10K. Because for you guys to know, I didn't just invest in the mentorship. I quit my PhD, I moved to a different country, and I started to work for the company of my mentor. And that's some scary stuff. That was really, really scary because I was completely transforming my life, and I had certainly got some fear. Now, you want to know what my repayments was with my bank? I was paying $200 per month. That was my repayments. Now, and let me tell you what happened for me. I used some of the money to pay for my program, and some of my money I used for being able to move to a new country and get myself settled. Yeah, that's what I used this money for, so I can learn these skills. But let me tell you what I did. When I started learning the skills, I'm not the type that is just going to sit there and do nothing. I'm an action taker. Who's with me? Who's also an action taker? Raise your hand nice and high if you are, and say it with a big smile. Yes. And let me tell this to you. If you're going to take what I'm teaching you in this event and you're going to put it to practice, you're going to see a shift in your life. But I did that also. I was investing in myself, and I was learning, and I was taking action, and I was keeping momentum. And guess what? In 3 weeks, you want to know how much money I made from scratch, Priyanka? I closed 70,000 in 3 weeks, learning how to do marketing, how to do sales. Now, thank you for your applause. Jokes. In 3 weeks, this is what the money that I made. And guess what, by the way? this money was not all for me. It was spread between me and the people that I did this with. But I was one of the main contributors because I grew very quickly in the company, and I became actually the CEO in just a few weeks. And I started to lead a team and build a team and everything. It went really quick. And so I want you guys to know this too. I'm not sharing this to make you think, oh, how awesome is she? No, I'm sharing this because I knew nothing about business. I had no clue, no rich background, no connections. All I had was the will to make a difference. I wanted to make money so I can give back to my parents. How many of you think about that too? You want to give back to your loved ones. I wanted to make money so I can help more people. My parents have always set an example to help people in the community, in the family, people outside, make a positive impact on them. Sometimes with money, sometimes with advice, sometimes in other ways. So I wanted to be able to make that impact too on a big scale. So I wasn't motivated by just money. I was motivated by the dream that I have to create a better life for me and those that I love and the community that I was going to serve. Does that make sense? And because of that, I learned the skills. So in answer to Priyanka's question, and thank you, by the way, that was a brilliant question, I didn't have anything to multiply until 3 weeks later. Aha. I learned to do it from scratch. Then I could multiply. Aha. And guess what? Whatever my part of it was, say my part of this amount of money was in the end maybe like 10K or something, right? Because we split it between the different people that was operating on it. Now, did you guys think that I just go and pay off my debt? Boom, paid off. Do you guys think that I did that? Oh, heck no. I allowed this 10K that I then had to simply pay the 200 per month. And then I had 9.8K to play the game with. Does that make sense? To grow more skills, to invest in more things. I invested in learning marketing, digital marketing, sales, speaking, all of these things. I invested in getting a team. I invested in a lot of different things so that I could grow my ability to multiply. Therefore, my multiplication wasn't just 2x, it became 3x, then it became 10x, then it became whatever. And that's when I made my first million after 1.5 years. From scratch. With the people that I did it with. Does that make sense? And why do I share this with you? Not to say, oh, look how cool I am. Not at all. Because I'm just one person. And I don't want to say I'm no one special, because I am special. But you are equally as special. But what I want you to understand that it's not because I knew all this stuff already. I knew nothing. I was a freaking scientist. You know what is the worst position to start from? Is being a scientist. Because as a scientist, what is our belief? I don't know if there's any scientists, engineers out there. I feel for you guys. Because as scientists, what do we say? I need to see it before I believe it. But as an entrepreneur, we say the opposite. I need to believe it before I can see it. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So I actually came from a very difficult environment as such. However, not my upbringing, my parents. They actually brought us up in an entrepreneurial way. Believe in yourself. Go for it. You can do this. Let's go. Does that make sense? So I'm sharing this with you guys so that you understand that if I can do it, as cheesy as it will sound, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. Because you guys have something that I didn't have. You want to know what that is? Me as your mentor. Me sharing with you how you can do it. And not letting you off the hook in getting yourself to the life that you deserve. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on this one? Are you guys gonna go and create the change that you deserve? Yes or yes? Comment below and say yes. But actually, let me say one more thing, and then we're gonna wrap this session off. Is that, you wanna know why this event is called Project 1 Million in 1 year? The reason is that the first day of my mentorship. So guess this. I just want you guys to know the timeline. The timeline is quite interesting. It was the 6th of February in 2016 that I met my mentor, that I invested in myself. Then it was the 23rd of February crazy, 16, that I quit my job. I moved to the UK and I started my first day at the office of H Academy. And then it was, I think, 3 weeks later, it was March something. At the end of March. Is that 3 weeks? Well, it was a roughly 3 weeks period when I closed the first 70K. But it was on this exact date, the first day of me starting to learn from my mentor, that I came to his office and he said this, Tjibaria, I want you to set yourself a target. And by the way, what I have learned, I'm going to say the same thing to you guys. I want you to grab your book. My mentor said to me, set yourself a target. So I say, what do you mean set a target? It's like, how much money do you want to make within a certain time unit? So he said, be specific. So I said, okay. So I wrote down, I want to make 1 million in 1 year. That's where the title of this event comes from. I wanted to make 1 million in 1 year. I wrote down by the 23rd of 2017, I want to have made 1 million in sales. I wrote down very specific. And I want you to do it too. Write that down. What is your goal? 1 year from now, how much money will you want to have made? Or will you have made? It's already done. But guess what? It's the final part of today's session. What I want for you guys is to get a very strong understanding of the success principles. And so with that, here's the timeline or the targets that we're going to set together. Here's the time, and here's the results. I want you guys to put 2 timings in here. Number 1 is 1 year. In 1 year from now, I want you to put the result in here that you want to have made 1 million. That's the first data point. I want you guys to go and make 1 million in 1 year. Is that clear? Are you guys with me? Capiche? All right, good. Next. In order for us to get to that, I want you to aim for making your first 6 figures, so 100K, in 3 months. Is that clear? Are you guys with me? These are the 2 results that we're going to aim for. Now, some of you looking at this and say, well, Tjibaria, if I do 100K in 3 months, then in 4 times 3 months, which is 1 year, I would have made 400,000, right? Well, if you keep doing exactly the same thing, then yes, you're right. Who's going to evolve? Who's going to apply the scaling strategies? That's what you guys are going to learn during this event as well. Because making 6 figures and making 1 million, so 6 figures and 7 figures, are 2 different ways of operating. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? So I'm going to teach you both so that you know how do I do the 6 figures and then how do I multiply it, but more fast, more accelerated. Yeah? So you're going to learn both of these things. So this one here is, there's going to be a method of scaling. But here's one thing that I want you guys to know, because what did I say? I didn't make my first million in 1 year. It took me 1.5 years. Now, by the way, let me ask you a question. How many of you would still be happy if you make your first million in 1.5 years? Raise your hand nice and high. You're like, that's still pretty okay. I wouldn't mind. Like, the faster the better, but I would still be happy. All right, cool. Same with me. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Why am I saying to you guys, write down in 1 year from now, you will have made $1 million. It's because the time unit is important for one thing and one thing only. The time unit that I'm setting here with you is only important so that you are able to reverse engineer, which we're going to do together during this event. However, if it takes you a little longer than the 1 year, or it takes you less long than the 1 year, it doesn't matter. Does it make sense? Because in my case, actually, before the 1 year was over, I knew 2 things. And write this down for yourself so you can see that for yourself too. Before the year was over, I think 9 months in, roughly, I knew 2 things. Number 1, I knew I wasn't going to make it in 1 year. And I knew I was going to make it. Those 2 things. I knew it was not going to happen in 1 year, but I knew it was going to happen. Why? Because I've been doing the work. And I was doing the work and I was expanding, I was growing, I was implementing, I was learning, I was investing, I was implementing, I was learning, I was investing, all of this stuff over and over again. And by the way, it's fun. Because I know now at this moment in time, maybe some of you are still in a job, are perhaps still in a situation where things might not be as easy. Sometimes change can be scary. But just picture this for a second. Imagine that you close your first 1K, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. And then before you know it, you've closed 10K. Now you're like, wow, what can I do? Like, just think about what can you do with 10K? What change does that bring to your life? But then you're going to be smart. You're going to reinvest it in yourself. Because what is the biggest asset in this world? You guys tell me. You are. You are the biggest asset. And you want to know why? You will know this, and I'll share with you why, if you know the 5 rules of investing by Warren Buffett. I know that I want to wrap this up very soon, but I just want to give you guys those 5 things. So I'm going to give it very fast. Can you guys write very fast with me? The 5 rules of investing by Warren Buffett. Very important. So I'll be very quick. I see Ricardo is laughing already. So here we go. Rule number 1 of investing. Don't lose your money. Rule number 2, don't lose your money. Rule number 3, don't lose your money. Rule number 4, don't lose your money. And can you guess rule number 5? Don't lose your money. That's it. The 5 rules of investing by Warren Buffett. Now, why then are you the biggest asset in the world? It's because when you invest in yourself, you can never lose money. Does that make sense? Because whatever you invest in yourself, no one can ever take away from you. You have the ability to use that at any given time. I know some of you that I had a beautiful conversation with. You were trying some things. Life took you out of it for a moment. And now you're back at it. Why? Because you can never lose what you've invested in yourself. At any given moment, you can reinvent yourself, grow yourself. That's why you guys are here. Does that make sense? So what's the biggest asset in the world? It is you. And that brings me to the 7th rule, or the 7th secret of the riches. Very important. Write this all down, everybody. Have an ROI mindset. Have an ROI mindset. What does that mean? What does ROI mean? ROI means a return on investment. Return on investment. So what does it mean? Whenever you have the opportunity to invest in yourself or in something else, another asset, think about it this way. Don't be like most people that are stuck, obviously. They say, oh, that's expensive. No, think about it this way. What is the return that it will allow me to make? How can I multiply this? In the same way, if I go back to this graph over here, I could have looked at the investment of learning from my mentor, 7K, ooh, that's expensive. How many of you would feel the same way? You look at it, 7K, ooh, that's expensive. Compared to what? Because guess what? In 3 weeks, I closed 70K. That's 10x. You guys know what I'm saying? That's an ROI mindset. I don't mind giving 7K if it brings me 70K. Or even 10K, because that was my share of it. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Let me give one more example, just to hit it home. We have the awesome Steve over here. Can we all wave to Steve? Hey, Steve. Good to have you with us. Now imagine, Steve has 10 pounds in his hand. He has 10 pounds. Show me the 10 pounds, Steve. 10 pounds. All right, cool. I have 100 pounds. Steve has 10. I have 100. I say, Steve, do you want to exchange with me? Do you want to trade? What will Steve say? Well, duh. Whereas the average person will be like, no, this is my 10 pounds. I don't want to give it. Ooh. But in this scenario, it's like, well, yeah, because I've now got 10 times more. That's the ROI mindset. But in most cases, when it comes to wealth building, it's not that instant. It's not like, oh, you invest and boom, 70K in your bank account. I didn't have this. It took me a couple of weeks. Does that make sense? And it's that time that makes people nervous. But you know why it makes them nervous? It's because they don't have clarity. They don't see exactly, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. Write this down. predictably. Because if you can predict how much effort produces how much of an outcome, then you're not going to feel nervous because you're like, well, duh, yeah, I'm going to do this stuff. And if anybody here wants to get a beautiful example of that, actually, again, giving a shout out to the incredible Carla, she made a video not too long ago because she made that video. She's not a newbie to this event. She's been to this event before. And last time, after day number 5, she was like, you know what? Let me do this. And she had made the most beautiful, brilliant video. I just really highly recommend you guys to just spend a little bit of time in the FLE group, look up that video by Carla, and you're gonna feel inspired. The mindset that that lady has, and that I know a lot of you here have, is powerful. Because let me say this again, by the end of this event, you will not only feel excited and you have a roadmap and whatnot, no, you will know exactly how to do it predictably. You know exactly how can I turn my effort into 1K? How do I turn my effort into 10K? How do I turn my effort into 100K? And scale from then onwards. Who's excited for this event? Raise your hand nice and high. Everybody with me, raise your hand nice and high. But I have one more quick question. Who would like to get results during the event? I see Daria, yes. I see Marita, yes. I see Steve, obviously. Linda, very good. I think it's all of us, right? All of us want results. So there is some homework for you guys to do. And one homework you're going to do right now, all right? Because I'm going to give you a blueprint. And this blueprint, sometimes I share it only during the 5 days. Sometimes I share it earlier. Today, I want to share it earlier. This is a very important one, so you will directly understand why we do what we do with this event. And after this one, and I explain the homework, then we're finished for today. So I'm actually cutting it short. Some of you are like, hey, I've planned for 3 hours. Why are you stopping? But we're having a shorter session today. And I shared exactly what I wanted to share. So here we go. I want everybody to take a screenshot of this first important blueprint. Write this down for yourself. So how are we going to make the money? Well, I like to make money by helping people. Who's with me? Raise your hand nice and high. I want to impact people. And if you focus on impacting people, that's how you're going to make money. If you focus on helping people, money is going to follow. It's like this rule of the universe. Does that make sense? And this is how. I want everybody to write this down. The first step is for you guys to be visible. Because you may have the best product in the world, you might be the best person, you're really excited to help people, but if people don't know who you are, you don't know you exist, you're not going to have anybody to help. Does that make sense? So if you're not visible, it's not going to allow you to do anything. So that's the first rule. And that's the first exercise as well that we're going to do in a moment. Next, relationship. By you being visible, people are in a position to build a relationship with you. Because I have spoken to Dana. Oh my goodness. Dana, you're awesome. Your energy is off the hook. Oh, no, not off the hook. I said off the wall. As Michael Jackson said, off the wall. Yeah. So that's awesome. But I will not be the only one who feels that. If you go live or you make a video, or you make a post, other people can feel that too. And in this time and age, that's so important. That's also the fourth step, building trust. And here's the cool thing. If you allow yourself to put some stuff out there that will impact people, then it builds relationship. From that, it's going to go to conversation. That conversation can be done by people commenting on your stuff or people messaging you or you messaging people. All of that we're going to break down during this event. And that builds trust. And when there is trust, then there is business. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on that one? Now again, here's the question. Who here is the action taker that wants to actually create results during this event? Raise your hand nice and high. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, so we're going to give you one exercise right now for everyone to implement. And that exercise is that you guys are actually going to make a story on Instagram. All right, so what I want everybody to do is this. I want you to grab your phone. Do we have smartphones in the house? Or Androids? It never gets old, is it? Some of you are like, huh, what did you just say? Did you just mock my phone? No. Okay, if you have got a smartphone, what I want you to do is this. There's 2 steps to it. How many steps? 2. The first step is that you allow your Zoom to be on gallery mode. So go to your view, whether you are on the Zoom via your computer, or if you are on your Zoom via your phone. go put the view on gallery mode so that you can see all those beautiful faces, and then wave at each other and say, hi, everyone. All right. Then what you're going to do is on your phone, if you're on the phone, on the Zoom, then you do a screenshot where you see yourself and the crowd. But if you have your phone, if you are on the computer, if you're on the Zoom on your computer, then use your phone to make a selfie with the audience. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to do this too. So we'll make a selfie and click. Yay! That's my selfie done. You take your selfie. The second step is that you're going to go to Instagram. So I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to go to Instagram. And then when I'm on Instagram, I'm going to slide to the side. And then I'm going to click on pictures. And I'm going to add that picture that I just took. Oh, yeah, here we go. So then here, I add this now to my story. But when I'm adding it to my story, I'm going to tag me in it. Well, I'm not going to tag myself, but I want you guys to tag me in it. Because guess what? We're doing a little giveaway. For the 2 best stories on Instagram that tag me in it, you're going to get a free upgrade to VIP. And what I didn't tell you this time around is that we're going to have an advanced automation session where VIP members get to access it. Who's excited for that? An advanced automation! And they get to also ask questions on it. Yeah? So that's that one. And then also there's another giveaway that we're going to do. So what I want you to do is make your picture, put it on your Instagram, and then tag me in it. And who am I? I am Tjibaria. So on Instagram, my handle is Tjibaria. Now, should it be so that you do not know how to tag a person, don't worry. Then just take the picture, and I'm going to send you an instruction after the session, yeah? But do note that instruction I'm going to send on Telegram because it's too big of a video to send over email. So you have to be in the Telegram then to be able to get that instruction. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? All right, so I want you guys to take 1 minute. How many minutes? 1 minute, and do number 1, take the picture. Number 2, put it on your story on Instagram and tag me in it. So 1 minute and begin. And pause right there. Now, if you're done, comment below and say done. And if you're not done yet, don't worry. As long as you have the picture, you can do it afterwards as homework. And guess what I'm going to do? When you tag me in it, I'm actually going to share it on my own story so that maybe some more people will start following you. Who likes the sound of that? Yeah, get more people, get more exposure. All right, awesome. Now, please, guys, you have done this beautiful exercise so awesomely quick. Can you please give yourselves a little celebration? The way how we do this is as follows. So everybody show 2 fists, and with 2 fists we do this. We say the number 1, who. Then we say ha, and then we do who. Everybody with me? Who, ha, who. One more time. Who, ha, who. Yeah, awesome. Now with that then, we have now come to the final homework. And I'm going to write this down for you so you know exactly what to do for you today. and then for the next couple of days as well. So the immediate homework every single day, I want everybody to write this down. Homework. Immediate homework every single day that you will do is, number one, is you do what we call a no lippy lippy, no trimmy trimmy. AKA, you're gonna do a live video in the FLE group. So the FLE group. So not on your own profile, not out in the open, just in our community. So that's the one that I showed you guys earlier in the community. And that is, here we go. Let me share my screen again so you guys have it clear. The community is, here we go, this beautiful group. Can you guys see it? This group over here. So I see some of you have been trying to join, so then our team will accept you. So team, if you can look at the new people in here. So this is then the group where you're going to put your life in. And how are you going to do it? If you are on a computer, you're doing your live, or if you're on the mobile, it's basically the same thing. What you'll do is you're going to go click on write something, and then you're going to click on the three dots, and then you're going to click live video. Now, I know that some of you have brand new profiles, and brand new profiles don't always have that option. If you don't have that option, then what you'll do is you just record a video and then you post it. So in that case, you press here. But there's actually a lot of power in you doing a live video. And I cannot tell you too much about it yet because you're going to experience it during the event. But here's the thing. If you do a live video, you're going to overcome some things that will give you a huge transformation, build your confidence, and build skill. And so again, I want to see a raise of hands. Who here really wants to get results during the event and after the event as well? Then my advice is that you do a live video, unless Facebook prohibits you because you have a new account. Yeah? Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, but what do I say in that live video? Well, you're going to do 3 things. How many things? 3. Number 1 is you're going to share your aha moments. So what were the biggest things that you've learned from today? It could be 1 aha moment, 2nd aha moment, 3rd aha moment, maybe even 60 aha moments. We've had people that do the full-on podcasts, also possible. But the minimum is just like share 1 thing at least that you have learned from today's session. Yeah? So today we have a live video, but then every other day, day 1, day 2, day 3, also every single session you do a live video. And why is this? It's basically because when you share, you learn it on a deeper level. Anybody ever heard that? Teaching is learning. And that's why I want you to do it. Not just for the confidence building, not just for the sake that you practice visibility, but also that you actually become one with the material even more. Yeah? So that's the first thing. Second thing that you guys are going to do is called a public declaration. Public declaration. You're going to publicly declare to the group that you're going to do something. Now, what are you publicly going to declare? Well, it could be a number of things. Number 1, it could be that you say, hey, I'm going to be there for all 5 days. That's one public declaration. Another thing is that you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to make 1 million in 1 year. Yeah. That's another one. Does that make sense? So you're going to publicly declare one thing. And why do I do that? Is because study has shown that people that publicly declare what their goals are more likely to actually achieve them. Why? Is because you have a group of people that can support you and hold you accountable. Does that make sense? It's not like you're just sharing it with yourself, and then if you don't do it, there's nobody that can hold you accountable. No, you actually are being held accountable. Does that make sense, everybody? Are you guys with me? All right. And the last one is you're going to share something of inspiration. And what is that inspiration? Maybe the inspiration that you want to give is you say, hey guys, if you're not part of this event yet, join the event. We're starting next week. Or the inspiration could be maybe a quote that you love to share. It could also be a story. Or if you don't know what to do, then smile. Because your smile is enough inspiration to brighten up any day. Does that make sense? So are you guys going to do the live video? Comment below and say, I will go live. Put it down below. Say, I will go live. And I'm going to hold you accountable, guys. I'm going to hold you accountable. Because I want to say another thing as well. Again, can I see a share of hands? Who wants success? Who wants results? How are you going to get results? By showing up. And I normally start with this in an event. I completely forgot about it. So let me share it with you guys now. let me share the first 2 rules of success. I should have started this. It's so funny. Anyways, the first 2 rules of success. Number 1, show up. Number 2, don't quit. By Grant Cardone. So show up, do your live video. Even if you see like, why should I do it? And I'm holding my accountability also towards some of our students. Sometimes students think, oh, I've done this in a past event. I don't have to do it now. Yes, you do. Every one of you guys. I see all of you here. Do it. Because if you want success, then you got to show up first. Deal? And let me make it even sweeter for you guys. The 10 best live videos or posts will get a VIP ticket free of charge. So I'm giving away 12 VIP tickets completely free of charge. Yeah? So who's going to do it? Raise your hand nice and high and say, yes, I'm going to do it. Nice and high, everybody? Good. I'm holding you accountable. By the way, team, can you take a screenshot of the people here so we can hold them all accountable? Now, and then another homework is the book. So homework with the book is that every single day there are different exercises in here. There's different questions in here, different things that will allow you to really get that clarity in your mind, in your life. How do you want to design your life? What is important for you? What's been holding you back? What are the strategies? You have the blueprints in here as well. There's a lot of stuff that would just make this whole process of you coming out of this event, knowing exactly what to do, super, super beneficial. But I do want to say this. There is a chapter for every single session. So there's a chapter for today's session. There's a chapter for day 1. There's a chapter for day 2. I want you to take it 1 chapter at a time. Today, only do the work of the secrets of the riches. Don't go ahead, yeah, because it won't make sense. So only 1 chapter at a time. So this may take you maybe like 1 minute, 5 minutes maximum. This will probably take you 10 minutes. And then we have another thing that we do every single time, just not today, but next week, we'll do this every single day, is we're also going to have an after party. An after party after each session where we're basically going to sit down with you guys and talk about different stories, different examples, different things that incredibly accelerates your way to actually get the results. You know what? I want to do something special. Can I see again a show of hands? Who wants to get the results? I again want to see those people that really, really want to get results. Okay, cool. I want to do something for you. I've only ever done this once, and it was very beneficial when I did this. How many of you think it would be beneficial if you could see how previous students have turned this education into results? People from different backgrounds, different types of businesses, different countries, different ages. Would that be helpful if I share that with you? Then I can share with you, so you can see, like, it's not just me saying it, because I can say everything all day long, but maybe it's more powerful if you can see, hey, this is another person that's doing a similar type of business than me, or this is another person that lives in my country, or this is someone that you have all different types of people, so they can really build your muscle in believing in yourself. Because when you start to seeing success, this is a very important thing, write this down. When you see that it's possible for others, you become more determined in making it possible for you. And we're going to talk about it on day number 1. This is also the reason why we learned how to walk. Because how many of you can walk right now? All of us, right? And when we started walking, it wasn't so easy. We fell and we stood up and we fell and we stood up. But why did we persist to actually get this walking thing done? It's because we see everybody around us walking. So when you are allowing yourself to look at different success stories, it actually helps you getting there better. So will you guys do that? Are you guys going to have a look at that? So then for today, I'm going to send that to you guys as well as homework. Yeah. And then also for today, very important. So we don't have an after party today. This will be for the other days. But now you guys are going to look at success stories. Yeah. So write it down. Success stories is for today. And one more very important thing is that you guys fill out the no more blind spots assessment. Yeah? That takes you 2 minutes. Fill out the questions so that we can then use that to help you, mentor you, hold you accountable, and make sure that you have everything that you possibly need to make this event the most beautiful experience you've ever had. Does that sound good for you guys? Are you guys going to do that? Raise your hand nice and high and say yes. Now, please give yourselves and each other a big hoo ha hoo, and another one hoo ha hoo, and another one hoo ha hoo. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here on the pre-training. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all this homework so you have all the proper links and the tools and whatnot. But right now, guess what you guys are going to do? You guys right